From Altavista High School, it's time for High School Hoops. Bonus high school basketball coverage here on 105.5 KD Country. I am Kyle Haney. Bob Alvis will be here before you know it. He's down there courtside trying to get some rosters and some lineups right now. We're here for the Heritage Pioneers taking on the Brookville Bees. It's that old Timberlake Road Seminole District rivalry, and it's here tonight at the Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational in Altavista. So glad that you could join us. Hopefully you're playing with your toys and all your candy, everything you got for Christmas. Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. Of course, the Altavista Colonels taking on the Robert E. Lee Fighting Leemen after this game. And as I said, it's all part of the Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational. We'll talk about some more of that later. But this is the Subway pregame show. Subway, you can always eat fresh at both locations in Altavista. Walmart on the Clarion Road, where we were at today, trying to get people to sign up for our Reached app. We'll tell you some about that later on. And, of course, the Main Street location where the customer service tonight, outstanding as always, ladies. Fun time in there. We're going to have a fun time today. 2 basketball games here tonight, like I said, and 4 very good teams, so it's sure to be a fun night. Make sure you stick around. We're glad that you've joined us. And 2 more games tomorrow night. It's the Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational. Let's hear from the head coach of the Brookville Bees and former Altavista High School star, Scott Jester. He's leading his team into action tonight against the Heritage Pioneers. We'll hear from him, tip off, all that, and more right around the corner. It's Heritage, it's Brookville, it's all live on 105.5 KD Country.
We are Physical Therapy Rehab Associates of Central Virginia, Timberlake Road, Lynchburg. Self-referral to physical therapy with or without doctor's referral. Rehab Associates physical therapists have advanced degrees in specialty orthopedic care from head to toe. Rehab Associates of Central Virginia can help take away your pain and return you to normal activity. We are Physical Therapy Rehab Associates of Central Virginia, Timberlake Road, Lynchburg. Our goal is your success.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
Brookville boys basketball here at the Altavista Christmas Tournament. They're going to see Heritage and Robert E. Lee the next 2 days, talking to the head coach of the Bees, Coach Scott Jester, and not a youngster anymore, but not an old man. How do you feel like the, building the program type thing is going here at Brookville?
That's going well, and we got a lot of good kids in the program, from B-team level to the JV level, and we've implemented our system over the last few years, and I think we're heading in the right direction.
Each year is a, step up in terms of learning curve, not only for the kids, but for you as well. What do you feel like better that you know now that, coming into the head coaching varsity that was kind of a shock?
Just getting used to flows of games and experiencing close games and making adjustments and things like that. There's a lot of good coaches in the area, so I've learned a lot from them, playing against them, and I feel like I'm just getting better as a coach every game.
Early on this season, I think it's when a lot of coaches maybe don't want to focus on records much, but focus on progression and things like that. Talk about what you've seen your kids do well early on in the season that you're happy with no matter what the scoreboard says.
We've been a pretty consistent defensive team this year so far. We're a pretty good half-court defensive team, but one thing we need to work on definitely is putting more points on the board offensively. So this, a couple weeks over Christmas is a good time to kind of work on offense and get better at those types of things we need to work on.
Consistency in defense. Don't know where you got that from. When you played for Mike Cardellaro, how hard was it to buy into a defensive system, and how hard is it as a coach to get guys to buy into a defensive system?
The thing about playing defense is it's not very easy. It's not very glamorous, but once you see the results of what you can do to other teams, it makes it easy to buy in when you start winning games, definitely.
You guys have played a interesting schedule so far. I know you were in the Beacon this past last weekend, I should say, against William Fleming. Playing better teams is only going to help you, but what did you see out of your group this past weekend that you like, that you can build on?
Well, William Fleming's one of the better teams in the state in 4A, so we got down early, but we definitely fought back, and I thought we played hard, and we played with them for the last 3 quarters and had a chance to get it down to 6 points. So I thought we responded and battled well with a really good team.
Let's talk about some individuals from your team that kind of impressed you and stand out a little bit.
Daryl Christian, he's a senior guard for us. He's averaging about 15 points a game. He's our leader both on and off the floor, and he's been very consistent for us on both ends of the floor this year. Our point guard, Jordan Penix, he's a freshman this year, and he's going to be a really good player. He's our, best ball handler, best on-ball defender. He really gets us going offensively. Roddy Yearwood is kind of our big man, which the term big man is kind of relative because he's about 6'1", but for us, he's our big man. He's our leading rebounder and bangs and plays physical for us inside.
Freshman point guard, given the keys to a freshman to run the point, sometimes a difficult decision, sometimes not. What makes you feel good with Penix at the point?
Jordan is very talented. He's a very hard worker. He just has a huge passion for basketball, plays year-round. So, he's making some freshman mistakes, but he's the type of kid where if he makes one mistake one game, he's not going to make it again, and he learns from them. He's getting better every single time we step on the floor.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, too, you often see point guards as leaders and putting, again, a freshman in that role. How important is it that your freshmen be, strong between the ears, not just good physically as well?
Oh, it's very important. And, the kids on our team, they've started to accept Jordan as a leader, and sometimes that can be tough, for the other kids to accept a younger teammate as their leader. But, Jordan is a tough player, both physically and mentally, and he's embracing the role of being our point guard.
Playoffs are definitely different now than what they used to be in terms of, conference tournaments and so forth and so on. How are you liking the setup, and how does it affect regular season scheduling and things of that sort?
Well, for us, it's a little different because our conference is smaller, and our conference seeding is based on district regular season records, so it doesn't really change a whole lot. So it's kind of like the district games are important, the non-district games don't count for as much. So for us, it really hadn't changed our regular season approach a whole lot.
We'll blanket these 2 teams into one, Heritage and Robert E. Lee. You're going to see them in the Christmas tournament. What stands out to you about each squad, if you would share?
Well, Heritage, we're obviously very familiar with them. We played them 3 times last year. We see them in the spring. We see them over the summer. They're very talented. They made it to the, regional semifinals last year, and they return a lot of good players. So it'll be a good kind of early season test to see where we measure up against them, being the conference champions last year. So, that's who we're trying to knock off to win the conference this year. Lee, traditionally, they're definitely a powerhouse, and they always put a good team on the floor. Don't know quite as much about them, but we're looking forward to playing them. It's a good test, a good program.
Heritage having the coaching change, Les Cam now taking over for Dan Stevens. Just an observation early on in the season, because I know the Pioneers have been in the same buildings you have sometimes. Have you noticed any difference in what they're trying to do or style of play?
Not a whole lot. They're athletic and they're talented, so, a whole lot hasn't changed that I've seen so far.
Coach, definitely best of luck in the Christmas tournament, and we'll talk to you throughout the season.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
We are Physical Therapy Rehab Associates of Central Virginia, Timberlake Road, Lynchburg. Self-referral to physical therapy with or without doctor's referral. Rehab Associates physical therapists have advanced degrees in specialty orthopedic care from head to toe. Rehab Associates of Central Virginia can help take away your pain and return you to normal activity. We are Physical Therapy Rehab Associates of Central Virginia, Timberlake Road, Lynchburg. Our goal is your success.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista High School is the site for the Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational. Bob Alvis has made his way up here. Bob, I talked about you a little bit earlier when we first came on, and Merry Christmas to you, sir. This feels like old times.
Yeah, my ears were a little hot, so now I can understand. Wow, I was just wandering around tonight in the town of Altavista, found a basketball game, figured I'd just stop on in. Yeah, two, double my pleasure. And this should be a good one. Brookville and Heritage, no more familiar foes than these two. They share the same road, even if you want to be technical about it, I guess. Timberlake Road right there, and share the same conference after sharing the same district for many moons as well. So these two, no strangers.
Yeah, it's an exciting matchup, something I know the administration and Coach Carlero are excited about as far as the tournament itself goes. More local flavor means more local fans, and you know how it is, Bob. You're a sports fan. You're a basketball fan. Maybe if there's just one good team at a tournament, you might stay home. But now you got three very good local teams and one very good out-of-town team in the Robert E. Lee Fighting Lehman. That's the nightcap right here in this one. It's the Brookville Bees versus the Heritage Pioneers, as Bob said. And, Bob, while we're previewing this one, coaching staffs for both these ball clubs. One familiar face for Brookville, and on the other side, a new man in Les Cam for the Heritage Pioneers.
New, but not really new. He just slides down one seat on the bench. Dan Stevens, right-hand man for many years as I was doing talking high school sports in the sports buffet. Les Cam has always been there. So we're going to talk to him before tomorrow night's game. And, one question, you know me, Kyle, I'm a big fan of this, is how different is it to where you're making the calls now as opposed to, you're telling Coach Stevens in those prior years, hey, Coach, I might do this or that. Now, the responsibility square on your shoulders. Of course, Scott Jester is a familiar face to this gymnasium. He hit a lot of threes, as Mr. Kenny Hunt would say to our right. I did that no justice whatsoever. But Brookville still a work in progress this year, a 2-4 record. They have knocked off William Campbell twice. But they've played some foes as well, Kyle. William Fleming just doesn't roll out of bed and get good. Mickey Hardy's got a good program up there. I have been told Russburg is very good this year with Coach Shields there. JF has got a new coach in Gary Lowry, of course, Navy Jones up there now, and he's actually having to score some as opposed to here. And, they played Heritage already this year, and Heritage got the better of the Bees that night.
That's certainly an interesting point that maybe we haven't brought up until now. Kind of early in the year, December, to be having a rematch against a team. But that's kind of the way things work in basketball when you get in these Christmas tournaments, that sort of thing. We got about 4 or 5 minutes until tip-off. Let's take a quick time out, Mr. Alvis. Let's hear about the fine folks from Rehab and Associates again who are bringing us this ball game. Big thanks to them. And, of course, it is the Subway pregame show. Bob and I will chat a little bit about Subway before we come back. And the tip-off right around the corner on 105.5 KD Country.
We are Physical Therapy Rehab Associates of Central Virginia, Timberlake Road, Lynchburg. Self-referral to physical therapy with or without doctor's referral. Rehab Associates physical therapists have advanced degrees in specialty orthopedic care from head to toe. Rehab Associates of Central Virginia can help take away your pain and return you to normal activity. We are Physical Therapy Rehab Associates of Central Virginia, Timberlake Road, Lynchburg. Our goal is your success.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family. See your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show rolls on here for the Heritage Pioneers and the Brookville Bees, and it's national anthem time. Timing not great for us here today, but we'll keep trying. Bring it on back with the starting lineups and then the tip-off right after this on 105.5 KD Country.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905. Personal, memorable memorial moments, celebrating life and more. Pre-arrangements with confidence, trust and care from our family to yours. Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. Family serving families since 1905.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Well, our timing wasn't great earlier, Mr. Alvis, but the timing on Kenny Hunt's national anthem, on the other hand, impeccable.
I thought
Perfect,
people
dare
only
say.
got that at the Sunday service,
No
but
kidding.
Mr. Hunt bringing it out here on a Friday night, and the timing is always great with Subway. This is the conclusion of the Subway pregame show, but you can never go wrong at Subway. 2 locations. We'll get to those later on, but I'm going to get to the lineups real quick, Kyle. I'm going to pull rank here and just step on your toes big time. Jordan Penix is going to start for Brookville. He is a 5'9" freshman guard. Daryl Christian, a 6'2" senior guard. O'Brien Holloway, a 6' junior forward. Roddy Yearwood, a 6' senior forward. And Michael Rhodes, a 5'11" senior guard. Brookville coached by Scott Jester, and also assisted by Corey Levitt, K.H. Woodford, and Chris Glaze. Hopefully I'll get a check from him because he likes it when we talk good about him on the radio. Brookville Bees baseball coach as well. Heritage, a lot of good stuff going for the 4-2 Pioneers. They will start number 2, Caleb Sneed. He is a sophomore. Number 3, Jesse Calloway. He is a senior. Number 5, Dante Jefferson, a senior. Number 10, Jordan Hamlet, the sophomore. And Ty Tracy rounds out the lineup. He'll wear number 22. He's a senior. Heritage, I believe, they are in the white jerseys with orange trim down the side. Pioneers written on the front, outlined in a navy blue. Brookville will be in their maroonish uniforms, I assume. But Kyle Haney will get you with the Mr. Blackwells later in the broadcast.
Nobody's as good about that as you are, Bob. The uniform description, second to none from my partner here tonight, Mr. Bob Alvis. Yeah, Heritage in the home whites, Bob. I guess we can assume they're going to be the home team. At least that's the direction I'm going to go with it. Brookville will be the visitors tonight. This is fun. You know, we usually see Brookville in the regular season. The Colonels will take them on later on in the year. Right. But we haven't seen Heritage take on the Colonels in a number of years. That happens tomorrow night, but it's nice to get a little early bonus preview of Heritage.
We saw it in our 6-game marathon there back in the day in the Beacon, and then a few other times here and there. So good crew of 3 tonight. Anthony Tisdale, Donnie Turner, and Rick Evans joining them. Always a pleasure to see those guys in charge.
Dante Jefferson at jump circle for the Pioneers. Roddy Yearwood in the squared circle for Brookville. And, you know, some of those names for Brookville, yeah, I know you like that. Some of those names for the Bees, Bob, pretty familiar as far as Yearwood and Daryl Christian go. Michael Rhodes is a senior as well. We've called their names a bunch in the past couple years when the Colonels have taken on Brookville. Pioneers win this tip-off, though, to start the action at the Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational. Basketball on the perimeter in the hands of Jordan Hamlet. Steps inside the three-point line. Shot front iron, no good. Rebound comes down to the Pioneers, though. Stuck back up by number 2, Sneed. That won't go, and now Brookville controls, and they want to get out and run a little bit. That's Christian driving to the basket. Shot goes up, fouled, won't go in. So some early activity, Bob. No points, but Daryl Christian will head to the free throw line for the Bees.
Numbers were not in Christian's favor, but sometimes when they're not in your favor, they are in your favor, because if you're 1 on 3, you've got a sometimes tendency to think one of those 3 guys is going to get over-aggressive and pick up the foul, and it will send Christian to the stripe for 2. That foul, Kyle, was called on Ty Tracy.
First one good for Daryl Christian, the 6'2 senior for the Bees. 7:37 remaining in the Select Air first quarter. It's a 1-0 Bees lead. Check that, make it 2-0 after the second free throw goes in. Heritage will inbound. It looks like Brookville will drop back in the half-court man-to-man defense. Pioneers get it across the timeline with Hamlet, right-hand dribble. Uses a screen, now chest pass over to Callaway. Callaway lost the handle momentarily at the right wing, stolen away by the Bees. Here comes Penix the other way. He'll slow things down. Brookville, Bob, early defense and rebounding. See if they can cash in and turn it into some points.
Penix is a freshman, so Scott Jester acknowledged to me in the interview there's going to be growing pains at the point this year, but he's willing to take them. They think Penix can be a good one.
Here's a drive by Michael Rhodes, middle of the lane. Nice right-hand layup goes in, and he's fouled. He dribbled with the left, transferred over to the right, put the shot up, got fouled, and Michael Rhodes will go to the free throw line to try and stretch the lead out 4-0. Bees in front, 7:05 remaining in the first.
Called the foul on 30. I don't have a 30 on my
Neither
roster,
do I.
So I'm going to go with 10. Hamlet on that. It'll be his first. I did look at the official. It did look like he threw up 30 as well, but there's
unless he threw up
no
a 3
30.
for Jesse Calloway.
Right.
But I think you're right. It's got to either be 10 or 3.
I'm going to go with 10.
Maybe a correction later on. I don't fault you there. Heritage basketball, foul line. They'll toss it over the top to Jordan Hamlet. Hamlet looking inside, but he'll pass along the perimeter again to Sneed. Sneed will back it out to the half-court circle and reset the offense with 6:40 remaining in the Select Air first quarter. 4-0. Heritage trails. 3-ball up for Hamlet. Won't go in. Another rebound by the Brookville Bees. Bees have controlled the glass so far here early. That's Daryl Christian. He'll bring it up himself. Spin move in the lane. Pump fake. Now he'll pass it away to Michael Rhodes. Rhodes, right wing. Dribble it to the middle of the court. 6:20 remaining in the Select Air first quarter. It's a 5-0 Brookville Bee advantage. Christian with the basketball back on the volleyball line. Now passes over to the right sideline to Rhodes. Rhodes looking inside. No dribble yet. Now he'll put it on the floor left hand. Crossover move. Starts towards the basket. Changes direction. Still to the basket. Shot goes up and in with the right hand again, Bob. Impressive solo move there by Michael Rhodes.
Not the start that Les Cam drew up, I don't think. 6-0 early, and, putting guys at the free throw line and the easy bucket, not good for Heritage. That's good for Heritage.
That is. That shot will go in. That's number 3, Jesse Calloway from the left-hand post. First scoring of the night for the Pioneers. Make it 7-2. Brookville advantage. Here comes a full court press for Heritage. Brookville taking their time to get it in. Bees still in the backcourt. They've used up about 5 seconds of that backcourt allotment. Now they're trying to break the timeline. They do with a Michael Rhodes dribble. Still pressured up top by the zone defense from the Pioneers. Now it looks like Heritage into a true man-to-man. Brookville taking their time, being patient. And Scotty Jester played under Mike Cardellaro, of course, so you know he is probably okay with that. 3-ball up for number 4. That's Penix. It won't go in. Rebound to the Pioneers. They're going the other way with 5:02 remaining. Layup put up by number 3, Jesse Calloway. Make it a 7-4 Brookville lead now. 4 in a row for the Pioneers, Bob, and here comes the full court pressure again. Bees do break it. Behind the back dribble from Jordan Penix. Penix driving to the lane, jump stop, throws up a wild one. I think they're going to call an offensive foul here.
Going to wave that off.
Yep.
And that's the freshman right there, being a freshman. Penix probably had more numbers. But again, I don't fault a guy for going to the hole and trying to make a play early, and I don't think Scott Jester is going to fault that either.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I mean, Penix drove hard. He got kind of caught in between, I should say, with that jump stop. And put up a wild shot that actually went in before he was whistled for the offensive foul. Heritage basketball, 3-point stripe. Driving is Dante Jefferson. Jefferson's shot will go in, and he ends up on the deck with a foul. So the Pioneers have clawed the back within 1, Bob, and with the free throw opportunity, they could tie this game. 7-6 right now, Bees lead. 4:28 remaining in the first period.
Second team foul on the Bees, second on Penix. That's not what you want to see within the first 4 minutes of the game. Penix picks up his second, team second, and it will send the Pioneers to the free throw line, Dante Jefferson, but he's got a little nick.
Yeah.
And I love Angela Emerson to death, but don't love mentioning her name always on the airwaves because that means she's going to have to get into some duty. Les Cam seeing if he can get somebody else to come in to shoot the free throw. But
yeah, the official, Bob, actually was the one that sent Dante Jefferson away. He wanted to shoot. The official said, no, you got something in your elbow, some kind of a cut. Can't really see it from up here, so it must not be too bad. But, the officials have excused him, and it looks like number 22, Ty Tracy, will come in and shoot the free throws.
Ty Tracy, a member of the Heritage football team, along with Jalen Martin, Dante Jefferson, and Caleb Sneed. Of course, Parsley played as well, I do believe, as he was one of the signal callers for Brad Bradley's squad. And, that's another thing, Kyle, as the free throw goes up off front iron, it's going to be rebounded by Heritage.
Yeah, it's Sneed grabbing the board. 3-ball try up for Jordan Hamlet. It's in. Heritage with the lead, just like that. Make it a 9-7 Pioneer lead, Bob.
What I was going to say is Pioneers got their basketball kids, or got their football kids to basketball a lot quicker than they have in years past. And right there, Brookville not quick enough to get an inbounds 5-second call. So for a first-year coach in Les Cam, where I doubt really much has changed, good to get them in the gym, as early as you can. You hate to see Brad Bradley and his Pioneers bow out a little early this year, but, one man's trash is another's treasure.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe not the best analogy.
It wasn't. It's all out of my head.
We're having fun, though. No, you're right, though. Brad Bradley and the Pioneers made a much earlier exit than anticipated. Pioneer basketball after 5-second call. And it does seem like with the 4-2 record, Bob, that the extra time in the gym, and it hasn't hurt anyway, let's put it that way.
Well, and Scott Jester said his numbers from football have dwindled over the last few years. And Brookville's had last few years have not been as good as they wanted it to be either. This year was not bad with first-year coach John Meeks, who is a Heritage graduate.
It all ties in. It's a small world, isn't it? Layup up there by Caleb Sneed. Basket will count. He got fouled in the act, went off backboard, and then front rim and fell down. And this will send Caleb Sneed to the free throw line. Boy, doesn't seem like Brookville has had the basketball in a long time, Bob. It's an 11-7 Pioneer lead. 3:31 remaining in the Select Air first quarter.
And Brookville was up at one point by the score of 7-2. So the Pioneers have ripped off 9 straight.
Free throw on the way for Sneed. Count that.
It might have been on 24. The board is showing there were 24 fouls for Brookville. I don't think that is correct so far. Everybody is in December basketball mode, I think, except for Kenny Hunt.
No.
Got his A game already.
He's in midseason form all year round. Trap out there at half court by the Pioneers. Basketball is going to go off Brookville and back to the Pioneers. So first time Brookville has even gotten the ball on their side of the court in a while, and they lose it just like that. Timeout on the court. Scott Jester wants to talk things over for the Bees. We'll talk it over as well. It's a 12-7 Heritage lead. High school basketball on 105.5 KD Country.
We are Physical Therapy Rehab Associates of Central Virginia, Timberlake Road, Lynchburg. Self-referral to physical therapy with or without doctor's referral. Rehab Associates physical therapists have advanced degrees in specialty orthopedic care from head to toe. Rehab Associates of Central Virginia can help take away your pain and return you to normal activity. We are Physical Therapy Rehab Associates of Central Virginia, Timberlake Road, Lynchburg. Our goal is your success.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Brookville basketball after the timeout. They trailed 12-7 over the Pioneers from Heritage. They get the ball in the front court now, Bob. That's number 24, Roddy Yearwood. Looking for some help. Backdoor pass to Rhodes. Rhodes, left-hand layup. That'll go in. Much-needed scoring for the Bees. Hadn't cracked the cylinder in a while. Make it a 12-9 Heritage lead.
Well, Kyle, you know me. I'm not shy about getting on the crowd a little bit if I have to, but right now this has got to feel like a practice for both these squads. There are people in this gymnasium, believe it or not, but they are not vocal. When Heritage made that last and one, I looked, and you probably have more noise at practice.
Yeah, I wonder, if maybe you got a few more impartial fans, just area basketball fans around. Because of what I said earlier. Sneed, jump shot won't go in. Excuse me, that's Callaway. Second chance, try won't go in. He got his rebound again, going to stick it back up. Might have taken some contact. That one won't go. Sneed got 3 decent looks at the basket. Couldn't get any of them to go in. Brookville takes over. Trap out in the front court again for the Pioneers. They've got Yearwood tied up along the half-court stripe. Basketball still loose. Darrell Christian will finally control. Now a foul called on number 10. That's Jordan Hamlet for the Heritage Pioneers. That'll stop play. Boy, scrappy Heritage defense, Bob, and they're picking Brookville up close to the half-court stripe, and they're using that to their advantage to employ that trap out front.
Board shows Hamlet's first. I have that as his second.
Yeah, you gave that one that
I did.
Gave to number 30 on him.
Like I said, December basketball. First game, too, in this gymnasium since a long time, March.
Well, unless you count the girls' basketball.
Right.
But, definitely on the guys' side. Shot blocked there by Dante Jefferson, and he collects the loose ball. Going to skip it ahead to Jordan Hamlet. No, you're right. The Altavista Colonels have not played here since that region final against, I believe it was Washington and Lee. Shot missed there by number 0, Harsley. Brookville basketball going the other way. We're under 2 minutes to play. Heritage leads in the first period 12-9.
Well, and, like I said, with the lack of energy, sometimes you've got to make your own energy. And I'm sure that's something Scott Jester and Les Cam will probably speak of at the half. But you got to think, too, once it gets closer to fourth quarter, there's going to be some more people and probably get a little bit louder in here.
Jump shot short by the Bees. Rebound follow-up is good by number 3, DeJuan Carter. Nice job by Carter being right place, right time. I'm going to agree with what you said. I think as the evening goes on, you'll see more and more people get here to fill up, and the main event should be a good one as well. Shot by Harsley goes in from close range. It's a 14-11 Pioneer lead. The full court press is on again. Let's see if Brookville can break it. Daryl Christian going to skip it ahead to Michael Rhodes. Rhodes will walk it across the timeline. Now driving, lost the handle momentarily, got it back. Jump shot coming from 17 feet by Roddy Yearwood. Count that one from the left wing. We're under 1 minute to play in the first, Bob. 14-13, 1-point Heritage lead.
I really like what the Pioneers are doing defensively, though. They are double teaming out on the wing, but then they're not getting back quick enough to pick up in a man-to-man or whatever else they want to do, leaving some shooters open for Brookville. And like I said, that could be, well, like you've said, like we've all said, that could be a result of seeing the guys one time this year, and you're going to see them one more, too.
Yeah, at least one more. Looks like man-to-man defense by the Brookville Bees, but they're not stretching it out very far.
These are two Conference 30 foes, and Conference 30 is a lot of the old Seminole, except Tunstall got thrown in there, and Tunstall, I don't think, plays any of them in the regular season, so we'll address that later. I have some strong feelings.
Conference 30 is a 3A conference. And you're right, the Trojans in there. Long three-pointer going to be sent up by the Pioneers. No good at the buzzer. Brookville rebounds, but it doesn't matter. We've played one from Altavista High School. Heritage with the 1-point advantage. 14-13, second quarter on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Is there a painting project on your to-do list? English's Home Center has added an additional line of paints. English's features Pratt & Lambert Lifetime Warranty Red Seal Exterior Paints. Choose from hundreds of stunning, beautiful designer colors. Pratt & Lambert interior or exterior paints. Value price to save you money. Pratt & Lambert paints. Never compromise.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista High School, the site for the Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational, the Christmas tournament. And if you're coming down to Altavista, you're listening now, Bob, and you see a guy in a subsuit in the front lobby there, a big giant sub. Don't be alarmed. He wants to give you free Subway. It's all part of our promotion with the Reached app, R-E-A-C-H-T. Free 6-inch sub just for downloading the app. You downloaded it,
I did.
Bob.
I think I was one of the first 10 or 15. I got a free sub, I think, to redeem off that. Free 6-inch, I believe it is.
Yeah, free 6-inch sub from Subway's in Altavista, and more prizes to come as well. Some little Caesar's pizza and crazy bread in there. And
if you're talking food, I'm all in. I'm all in. Yeah, well, Kenny Hunt's trimmed these days. So I don't know that he's in on the food stuff, but it's all right. I'll just take his.
Back to basketball. We'll talk about the Reached app a little bit more later on. It's questions and answer type stuff. We ask you some high school sports questions, some regular sports questions. No, they're not.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not a pop quiz. It's just your opinion. 3 ball up for the Bees, front iron. No good. Rebound comes down to Caleb Sneed for the Pioneers. Behind the back dribble, now the crossover. Got some room in the front court here. Throws it down in the corner to Hamlet. Heritage basketball, they lead by 1, 14-13. Lot going on. Bob and I will have plenty of time to talk it all over during the Subway halftime and
Can
the
I say
Subway
something
pregame.
right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, that last shot of the first quarter, I don't think was a shot Heritage. They ran 25 seconds down. They wanted to get a good shot there, tried to dump it down and turned it over. 25 seconds and really kind of a wasted possession because they didn't get as good of a look. Right there has O'Brien Holloway did.
That's a pretty good look there from right wing. Holloway sends in the 3. It's a Brookville lead. Back and forth basketball here. Bees lead 16-14. Looks like Brookville's gone into a 2-3 zone look on defense, Bob. You mentioned the turnover last possession by the Pioneers. See how Les Cam wants to diagnose this defense. Jump stop inside by number 3, Callaway. That won't go. Rebound comes down to the Bees after another try from the Pioneers.
And I'll tell you, Kyle, you and I get out to a lot of games. I don't know how much you've seen Heritage lately, but they don't have that big man like they've had in the past with Frisco or Alvin Wright or Don Alexander, any of those guys. They are not a very large team like they have been.
Pioneers going the other way after the steal. Shot goes up by Sneed. Count the basket. Brookville tried to come in there late. That was DeJuan Carter going for the block, but he couldn't get there in time. Tie ball game, 16-16. 6.5 left to play here in the Select Air second quarter.
Doesn't mean they can't win. You're just looking for, other ways to get on the perimeter without that real, true big guy.
Might have to use different style of basketball. Backdoor cut by Carter, won't go in. Got his own rebound, going to dribble it back out now. Now he wants to turn and shoot again. Nice little move there by Carter. He sort of looked like he was going to take it back out to the perimeter, reset things, Bob, and then a little head fake, put up the next layup from inside. Crafty play to give the Bees the 18-16 lead. 3 ball up from Hamlet. Back iron, no good. Rebound comes down to Brookville, and here come the Bees. 2-on-1 opportunity. O'Brien Holloway lost it, dribbled it off the foot. Might have got going a little fast there, Mr. Alvis, on the 2-on-1 fast break.
Off the old sneaker, as they say, the old-timers. I thought about it. I'm really getting old when I'm dating Don Alexander and Frisco because they've been out of school for a while. I need to get more timely with my references.
Yeah, you mentioned some guys that date back upwards of 10 years for the Pioneers, but I think your point is valid. I mean, Heritage has always, it seems like, had a big man inside, somebody that can control the middle, and somebody that can be the number one option on offense, make things go from in there.
Makes it easier for the outside guys, too.
Well, you see that with the Altavista Colonels with the brothers Johnson inside. Second shot try for Pioneers won't go in. Brookville with another rebound. Heritage has got some offensive boards, Bob, but Brookville, for the most part, controlling the glass. 3 ball on the way from Michael Rhodes and the Bees, no good. Rebound tipped down to number 3. That's Jesse Calloway for the Pioneers.
It's just a lid on that bucket right now for Heritage, and they somehow need to figure out a way to get that off.
Bees lead 18-16. Lid doesn't come off on that shot. No good, and Brookville with another rebound. Here comes Daryl Christian, number 10. Nice move. Floater put up there from 10 feet. Won't go in. Basketball's going to go off Christian. Back to the Pioneers. Under 5 minutes to play now in the Select Air second quarter, Mr. Alvis. It's an 18-16 Brookville lead.
Roddy Yearwood comes back into the game.
Yeah,
it'd be cool if he just ripped off a kilt at the table.
Wow.
Now I'm really dating myself.
Yeah. It's an old wrestling
Maybe we should go with the
Alvis.
question on the Reach app. How old is Bob Alvis?
That would be a good one. Floater up by Callaway. No good. Rebound comes down to Sneed. Callaway puts it up again. Second shot will go in from just outside the paint. You're old enough to know better, Bob, but you're still young enough to have a good time here at the Jeff Cocke Memorial.
Going to be a little bit past my bedtime with doing game 2 tonight, though.
Well, that's true. Might take a little while. Foul there at midcourt. Rhodes got hit to the deck by number 5, Dante Jefferson. Jefferson gambling on the steal, and he came up a little bit late. 4 minutes, 16 seconds to play in the half. 18-18 is your score. Tie ball game here. And, of course, the second quarter brought to you by Select Air, your authorized train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Christian driving, middle of the lane, throws it up. It's good, and he's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line for the three-point play. Nice drive by Daryl Christian. Brookville, Bob, has had some success penetrating to the basket with the dribble.
I like the game plan. Not that Scott Chester needs my approval, but I think it's a very good idea to try to drive because, with a team that's a little bit, I don't want to say inexperienced, but I think in December you can get a little bit more aggression going out there to where you can see a foul or two picked up.
Sure. Free throw good. 3-point advantage for the Brookville Bees. Jared Brooker checking in the ball game for the Pioneers. 4:04 remaining in the half.
Yes.
21-18. Brookville lead.
Parsley also, I believe, checked in.
3-point try on the way for the Pioneers. Front iron, no good. Rebound, Booker. Shot goes up and in on the second chance try for Jared Booker. Making a 1-point Brookville advantage. Bees in the backcourt. Heritage not employing the full court press, but it looks like the half-court trap now. Holloway breaks it, striding to the rim. Finger roll, good. Nice play right there to avoid the pressure and then get some points off it. It's back to a 3-point lead for the Bees. 23-20. 3:20 remaining in the half.
And with the way things are now and with the getting in terms of conference play and everything, three-pointer up, no good. Booker with the rebound. He's going to get fouled. I think they're going to call him on the floor. And they will. But, every game is kind of important now because you don't have that district tournament.
Yeah, the district tournament is done, well, at least for pretty much everybody we know of anyway.
Seminole did one last year,
right.
But I think that's scrapped as well. I mean, it's really just no point in the district tournament because you don't have a district.
Right. You really don't. The districts don't mean anything anymore. 3-point try, no good. And here comes Holloway for the Bees out of there. This is a 4-on-1. Bounce pass over to the left wing. Wow, and the big-time block there. Roddy Yearwood got it stuffed. I think the Brookville fans thought he made, or there was some contact there. No whistles on the big hard block, and Heritage throws it away on the other end, just as we try and describe the previous play. There, your crowd got a little vocal there, Bob. That's what you wanted.
Yeah, they got out of the library and came into the gymnasium on that one. 23-20 is our score. Heritage trails by 3 against the Bees, and I don't know if the Bees, I don't know if that's a little bit of their own fault too, like, where they just took it up so easy and lackadaisical, but Heritage definitely did not quit on that play.
Yeah, nice job by Heritage recovering. It's Brookville basketball in the front court. 2.5 minutes to play here in the half. Bees lead 23-20. Christian lost it. Hot pass from Jamil Napier. He couldn't control it, so it'll be Heritage basketball with 2:32 remaining in the Select Air second quarter. Pioneers seem to be the team to beat in the old Seminole District, Bob, and I guess we could extend that all the way to Conference 30.
Yeah, EC Glass is very good, too. It'll be interesting. I think everybody kept the district schedule just so they don't have to go out and find 20 games, which I don't go fault them for at all.
Shot no good by Brooker and rebounded by Daryl Christian and the Bees, and Christian slamming it down right there. Nobody wanted to step up and get in his way, so Daryl Christian with the dunk, the 6'2 senior guard for the Bees, Bob.
Well, Brookville said we got one more present under the tree, and it's coming tonight. 25-20. They have really stepped on the accelerator here in quarter number 2.
3 ball on the way from the Pioneers. Good by number 3, Jesse Calloway. 25-23, 2-point advantage for Brookville now after the long ball from the Pioneers. Bees going the other way. DeJuan Carter just hands it off to Roddy Yearwood. Yearwood driving, got held up, fouled. Shot won't go in, but it'll go to the free throw line. Looked like might have been 22, Ty Tracy on the violation. Just sort of grabbed him around the waist there.
Should be his first.
Yes. Yep, first. 16 fouls on Heritage, 14 fouls on Brookville. Next time Heritage commits a foul, the Bees are in the bonus. Free throw on the way from Yearwood is no good.
And like I said earlier about the Conference 30 and the district thing, and maybe we can talk more about this at halftime, but a few of the coaches in Conference 30 is like, why don't we just all play each other? And I've had other coaches in other conferences convey that feeling as well.
I think maybe it'll come to that later on, don't you? Second free throw by Yearwood.
I would hope.
Converted. It makes more sense to, play the teams that you're going to play in the postseason. Right. Some of the conferences are a little bit spread out now. I will say that's the only drawback to that. You look at Altavista, you got Perry McClure from Buena Vista in the conference. You got Altavista, William Campbell, and then you got to go all the way close to Richmond with your Central Lunenburgs and your Cumberlands of the world. So maybe that's the one reason not to play the conference schedule. Foul on the perimeter by Carter.
I'll get on my high horse at halftime about that as I have some more feelings.
Yeah, 15 foul on the Brookville Bees. This is on the floor. It's against DeJuan Carter. Heritage will inbound in the front court. Actually, let's send it to the backcourt for the inbound, but Callaway catches, and he'll walk it up now. Man-to-man defense from the Bees. Callaway driving right outside the paint on the left side. Shot no good, hits the floor on the foul. Couple free throws coming up for Jesse Callaway and the Heritage Pioneers. 1:14 remaining in the half. It's a 3-point Brookville lead.
Well, we're all in the bonus now. Next foul is going to send somebody to the line for something. 6 fouls each, and this will send Callaway to the stripe for 2. And, you talk about the Heritage Brookville. We talked about John Meeks, who's now at Brookville. He played at Heritage, coached at Louisa as well. But it's funny, that Timberlake Road buffer, you can get to Brookville and the Heritage, if you're doing the speed limit, probably about 5 or 6 minutes. If you want to be a little risky, 3 minutes. It's really a border war.
Certainly with no traffic anyway. You're right. Not separated by much room at all, and you could really get a nice workout in walking from school to school. If you want to, number 21, Travis Sudler checked in the game for Brookville. His first action of the night, I believe. Backdoor cut coming. They were looking for Rhodes. Rhodes fouled.
Now we're all in the bonus, like I said.
This is going to send Michael Rhodes to the free throw line for a 1-on-1 situation. 7th team foul on the Heritage Pioneers. Heritage trailing by 2, 26-24. It's a Brookville advantage with 1 minute exactly to play in the half. Free throw up and good for Michael Rhodes and the Brookville Bees. O'Brien Holloway checking back in the game.
Last
for
foul
Brookville.
was on Brooker, by the way.
Both teams have gone to the bench a lot, Bob, at least early in this one. Back-to-back nights. Maybe the coach is trying to conserve the legs a little bit. Maybe that's just the normal substituting strategy. Second free throw good. So Michael Rhodes hits both for the Bees. They lead 28-24. Crossover dribble by Jordan Hamlet. Now left hand looking inside. Going to pass it backwards to number 3, That's Jesse Callaway. Callaway faked the drive. Now he'll dish it in the corner to Hamlet. Hamlet, 3-ball. No good. Foul on the rebound attempt. This is going against Heritage. Coach Scott Jester from the Bees likes his team's effort on the box out there. And the foul is on Brooker. Should be his second, I think, Bob. 8th as a
mere
team.
Matter of moments. Yes, sir.
Yep. Michael Rhodes back to the free throw line again. It's like deja vu all over again. You ever seen the movie Groundhog Day?
Been here before. Yogi Berra next to me in the booth tonight, folks. And I'll tell you what, a lot of, when you see a Christmas tournament, you get some other coaches and some bigwigs out. And if you're a kid coming, bring your autograph book. And you can snag some local high school and college coaches in attendance tonight.
Oh, I thought you were talking about getting an autograph from the guy in the subsuit out front.
Or him.
He might be. I don't know if you get those big lettuce hands. I don't know if you can sign autographs. Rhodes converts both free throws again. Brookville pretty good from the free throw stripe in the first half so far. They lead 30-24. Just under 30 seconds to play in the half. Pioneers driving. That's Jalen Martin. Now Hamlet will throw it up. No good. Rebound comes down to the beads again. That's Michael Rhodes. Brookville may elect to hold for one shot. We're under 20 seconds.
I would concur with your sentiment on that as they did pull it back.
Man-to-man defense from the Pioneers. They're extending it out on the perimeter a little bit, though. Brookville's going to have to work 10 seconds. Rhodes driving. Underneath layup is good on the right side by Michael Rhodes. He's putting on a one-man show here. 6 points just in the last minute. Buzzer beater try from the Pioneers. No good. There's the horn. We've reached the Subway halftime show with the Bees leading 32-24. Brookville over Heritage. Subway halftime show on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
We're back at Bug Motor Company, 3 miles south of the airport in Lynchburg, and we're talking with James Duranzo, the manager of Bug Motors.
Thanks, David. This is James, and I wanted to tell you guys about an awesome program that we just started. It's our first-time buyer program. You're guaranteed as long as you can prove your income and that you can afford the payment, we can get you in a car as low as 10% down here at Bug Motors, and we are the Super Truck Center with over 40 trucks to choose from.
Don't wait too long. Come on down to Bug Motors and get a deal today.
We are Physical Therapy Rehab Associates of Central Virginia, Timberlake Road, Lynchburg. Self-referral to physical therapy with or without doctor's referral. Rehab Associates physical therapists have advanced degrees in specialty orthopedic care from head to toe. Rehab Associates of Central Virginia can help take away your pain and return you to normal activity. We are Physical Therapy Rehab Associates of Central Virginia, Timberlake Road, Lynchburg. Our goal is your success.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show begins with the Brookville Bees leading the Heritage Pioneers. 32-24 was back and forth basketball for the most part of the first half, and then the Bees pulled away late there in the second quarter. I'm Kyle Haney. He is Bob Alvis. Thank you for joining us here on this bonus basketball from 105.5 KD Country, Bob. It's a little after Christmas flavor. Like I said earlier, you're hanging around the fireside playing with the new toys and the candy and all that. Tune into a little basketball, and you and I are here. Start with your thoughts on the first half first, or your thoughts on Subway.
Sure,
Where do you want to go with this?
Let's go all over. Subway is A-plus as always. I don't think there's a bad selection other than not opening the door. 2 locations, Main Street and Walmart. So those are 2 great locations. I think both basketball teams, I've got to go boxing on you here for a minute. I think they're filling each other out. I don't think anybody's thrown any haymakers or any hard shots so far, but I think both teams would love to minimize the mistakes a little bit too. Defensively, I think both teams have probably want to bear down a little bit more there before we get to the fourth quarter, because the fourth quarter is where you want to be strongest, I think, defensively, as opposed to just a little bit of laissez-faire.
Yeah, let's keep with the boxing analogy there, Bob. If it's a championship fight, it's 12 rounds, so we're at halftime. We've played 6 rounds so far. How far down is Heritage on the judges' scorecards? I mean, they're only down 8, but the Bees got to tip your cap to Brookville. They've played pretty well. Is Heritage too far behind on the cards to come back in this one? Probably not.
Not at all. Not at all. I think, they don't need that Michael Rhodes show, though, going on like happened towards the end of the game, or towards the end of the half, I should say. Rhodes got to the free throw line, got an easy bucket as well. So you definitely want to trim down on that. But I think the Pioneers have more than a puncher's shot to get back in this one.
What do you think about the rebounding? Because to me, Brookville really seems to be dominating the glass. I mean, I know Heritage has gotten some offensive rebounds, but for the most part, Bees are clearing the boards well. They're not giving Heritage too many second chance tries, and the Bees have gotten some second chances themselves. And I don't know, it seems like Heritage might have the height advantage, so Brookville maybe just outworking them on the box out.
Kind of been a little bit of one and done, one shot, and not always been a good shot. So really, a wasted shot right there. But like I said, I don't want to be too hard on anybody because this is December basketball, like I always like to point out. So you're really, I think, trying to find your identity. And with the way the districts, or lack thereof, go now, it's really different. So I think both teams, are trying to get some of the kinks worked out here. And, I don't think this is where you're going to see Les Cam or Scott Jester's club by the time we're all said and done.
I think you're right. Brookville comes into the game at 2-4, Heritage 4-2. It's the seventh game for both teams. We'll get Bob's thoughts on those districts and conferences when we come back. We'll tell you a little bit more about that Reached app, how you can get some free Subway, and maybe we'll preview the nightcap just a little bit as well. It's a Subway halftime show. Brookville leading Heritage 32-24. You're hearing it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
If you're like me, life changes, and that brings up financial questions. I'm Vivian Brown of First National Bank, and we're excited to offer a new financial answer center that will help you better understand your own needs. It covers various financial topics, offers free quick guides, and if needed, access to a First National Bank employee. So go to our website at 1stnatbk.com and take a look at the new Financial Answer Center. It's a smart resource that could help you bring home more bacon. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
A short drive will save you money.
Lowest prices of the year. Lowest payments of the year. Great selection. That's what's going on now at Feller Chevrolet in Altavista. All prices have been reduced for this year-end sales event. No games, no prizes, no hassles, just rock-bottom prices. The car you buy at Feller Chevrolet this week will be the best deal of the year. Make sure you shop Feller's before you buy. Feller Chevrolet year-end sales event going on now in Altavista. Don't miss it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show continues. Brookville leading Heritage 32-24. I mentioned Subway earlier and your chance to win a free 6-inch sub just by joining with the Reached app. That's REACHT. It's the most exciting interactive fan experience that KD Country has ever rolled out. We ask you all the questions about sports, music, life, all that kind of stuff. And like I said, get a free 6-inch sub just for signing up, courtesy of Subway in Altavista. Just download the app, join the KD Country group. You're sure to have a lot of fun. And I mentioned there's more prizes and things to come once you start answering questions. We got some pizza on there.
Very effortless, by the way.
Exactly.
Because when you told me about it, Kyle, I said how much work needs to be done. That was my first question. And it wasn't hardly any at all. So
None,
that's why
exactly.
I signed up. So don't think that you have to, spend 25 minutes on your smartphone trying to figure it out.
And we got the Subway mascot down there right now. Dave Haney's down there as well. He can walk you through it. Dave Haney's pretty old school, and if he can use the app, I know you can too. But, yeah, swing on by, say hi, take a picture, something with our Subway mascot.
Or with Dave.
That's exactly right.
Whoever you want your picture with. Kyle, both conference 30 squads, and you promised me I could get on my high horse.
Get on it.
Just a moment.
The horse is saddled up. You ride.
I mean, first off, one of my new pet peeves has become anytime anybody says the Seminole District or the Dogwood District. Those were around when we were in school. They are not present anymore. There's a Dogwood District schedule, maybe.
Right.
But there's no district. And I just think by playing teams more in your conference, it gives more validity. It gives more of a, it makes it feel like the old district. And if you're going to be in a conference, you might as well see them before the tournament. I mean, Virginia and Duke don't just see each other in the tournament. Well, that's a bad example with the way unbalanced scheduling is now. Yeah. But, I mean, you get my point of the whole thing. And, I mean, I get where you're going with the Altavista Central Lunenburg type stuff and everything. And I agree with you. But, I mean, give me one good reason why Dan River and Nelson County should still be meeting in the regular season when there are a lot of people closer to Dan River and there are a lot of people closer to Nelson County.
Well, we were talking to Bill League, the athletic director at Nelson County during football, and I think Nelson is going to go away from playing the Dogwood District teams, the old Dogwood District teams, so you're probably going to get your wish as far as that goes. But you're right, the districts, they have no bearing on postseason play anymore like they used to.
If you want to play something for a gate, fine.
Yeah,
I'm fine on that part. But, I mean,
but then it becomes just another tournament like this, like the Jeff Cocke Invitational tournament.
Right. But, I mean, whatever. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, JF and Brookville are not in the same conference. But that's a gate, no matter what sport it is. But, I mean, like I said, Nelson and Dan Rivers is a big one that kind of gets me. And, that's fine. But, I mean, I just think you need to kind of get more familiar with your postseason foes. I'm not saying you've got to play everybody in 1A, that Altavista doesn't need to go outside. But, I mean, and for as much as people groan and moan about travel, I'm all for keeping games close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's to the point now without really defined districts anymore. Pretty much just schedule and play who you want. Play the teams you want to play and go from there. Subway halftime show winding down. We will do a chance to win with Subway in the Altavista game. That's your chance to get on our Facebook page and post the keyword that we'll give you later on, and you can win a foot-long meal deal courtesy of Subway's in Altavista. I'm sure we'll revisit this conference/district discussion here. We got
probably every time I'm with you.
Probably, yeah. But we got 2 nights here at the Christmas tournament. Pace yourself a little bit.
I'm pacing myself just so I'll be good for the fourth quarter of the first game. And also in the pregame of the Altavista Robert E. Lee game, you're going to hear extended interviews, at least with Jared Hatcher. I don't know how long yours was with Coach Carlero, but Jared Hatcher definitely spun a weave or two. We really get into some storytelling. He's been at Robert E. Lee pretty much since birth.
Yeah,
in one way or another.
Right. His dad was the coach before him, and I think it's in his 4th year as a head coach. Coach Carlero told me in his interview. So, yeah, in between games is going to be a lot of fun. You'll get to hear from both coaches. And
I think the music needs to go off.
The music might want to go off here. As we've started play in the second half. Hey, they play music during those NBA games. Let's let it ride here. Pioneer basketball. Jefferson driving. Now he'll dish out at the perimeter to number 10. That's Hamlet. Score the basket, and he's fouled. Jordan Hamlet. The early bucket by the Heritage Pioneers. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot one after the drive and the layup. Second foul on Roddy Yearwood. First foul of the half. Pioneers cut into the Brookville lead. Free throw up, free throw no good. Rebounded by Darryl Christian there, number 10 for the Bees. 7:40 remaining in the third quarter. It's a 32-26 Brookville lead.
But I like it if you can get to the line without the clock moving, trying to get back into this one if you're Heritage.
Foul away from the basketball is going to go against Brookville. It may be Roddy Yearwood. It is. No, it's number 30, Michael Rhodes. Excuse me. Heritage basketball. And that's 2 or 3 on Rhodes, too. Yeah.
2 quick team fouls also.
Sure.
Here in the second half, we barely even played 30 seconds.
Not exactly what you're looking for if you're Coach Scott Jester and the Brookville Bees. Pioneer basketball, that's Callaway driving left hand, 3-ball from the corner, and Jordan Hamlet, no good. Rebound comes down to Sneed. Sneed sticks it back up for 2, middle of the lane. There's a second chance bucket for Heritage. We talked about they weren't getting a ton of those. They get one there, and it leads to points. 32-28, Brookville leads, but it's been cut into. Rhodes going to break the timeline, dribbling. 1-on-2, so he dishes it away. That's O'Brien Holloway. Holloway, 7-footer, is good from along the baseline. Brookville with their first points of the half. 6:50 remaining in the third quarter. Shot no good from the Pioneers. Here comes a rebound from Brookville. That's Darryl Christian. Christian driving, maybe the extra step. No call. Basket good by Darryl Christian on the layup.
That 4-point that was cut into is going right back. 36-28 now is our score.
Quick 4-point explosion there from the Brookville Bees. 3-pointer on the way from number 5. That's Dante Jefferson. No good, and it bounces over the backboard and out of bounds.
Well, and the quick shots aren't helping. In terms of trying to get back into this game, you got it to 4. then, a couple momentum swings right back. Brookville's former football coach, Jeff Woody, would always talk about Uncle Mo. Well, right now, his old squad has it. The Bees have got it back.
I agree with you. Brookville has done a nice job to weather the early storm from Heritage and come back with some points. Penix driving, dishes in the corner to number 24. That's Yearwood. 3 ball on the way from Christian. Front iron, no good. Rebound is loose. Heritage had it briefly knocked out of bounds off the Pioneers. So it'll stay with the Brookville Bees. 6:05 remaining in the Select Air third quarter. 36-28 is your Brookville Bee advantage.
And, I've been going old school with all my old feelings here tonight of, what's been happening back in the past. But definitely it's been a situation where Brookville and Heritage, they've had some recent success, more than you might think. With the Pioneers were in Richmond, I want to say 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. So it's not always back in the day as this old fogey is liking to make it sound.
No, that sounds right. You and I remember seeing Heritage up there in Salem in the state quarters 2 years ago, I think it was. Right. Drive here from Penix. Shot good. Look at the young man, Jordan Penix there, the freshman driving to the basket. Basket counts. And he's fouled. He'll head to the free throw line. Boy, it's a 10-point game. 38-28. Brookville in front. Penix can make it an 11-point game. 5 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in the Select Air third quarter.
Quickly a 10-point game. I mean, it was 4 just a few minutes ago, and Brookville committed 2 team fouls. Now the Bees have moved it to 11. 39-28, Kyle Haney, Heritage. You mentioned they're down the cards. Well, they need to get some combinations going here. There's one bucket that will get them started.
Yeah, it's Jesse Calloway from about 13 feet, middle of the lane. Free throw good. Or excuse me, jump shot good, not a free throw.
It was the free throw line.
It was near the free throw line, yes. That's why I got confused. Rhodes having trouble to break the trap. He does, sends it long to Roddy Yearwood. Now Jordan Penix. Penix driving, baseline, dishes out, top of the key to Rhodes. Rhodes thought about a 3, decided not to. 39-30, Brookville on top. Bees basketball. That's Christian over to Penix. Penix will try a 3, right wing, in and out, no good. Rebounded by number 5. That's Dante Jefferson for the Pioneers.
Good job by Jefferson to clear space and have it to where basically he was the one rebounding right there.
Pioneer basketball. Sneed driving, dishes to Callaway. Now down in the corner to Jefferson. His three-pointer no good. Rebounded by the Brookville Bees. That's Michael Rhodes. Rose gets it into the front court, taking his time to look over the defense. Still a 39-30 Brookville lead. 4.5 minutes to play in the quarter. Ball tipped away, and Heritage is going to come out of there with it. Loose ball, actually diving on the ground is Roddy Yearwood. They're going to give Yearwood possession, and Coach Jester called a timeout for the Bees. We'll take the timeout as well. 1 minute timeout here. Brookville leads by 9 on 105.5 KD Country.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical. 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista is going to be playing in game 2. Brookville and Heritage right now, 39-30. The Bees on top. And Kyle Haney, my good friend, tell me what's happening right now.
Well, Brookville, does it seem like they're just outworking the Pioneers early here in this one? I say early, we're in the middle of the third quarter, but does it seem like they've just maybe had a little better emotion and enthusiasm?
Seems like they're striking while the iron's hot.
True.
And, really just putting their pedal to the metal.
Drive here by Penix. Tripped away from them. They're going to call a foul, and, it's interesting that Penix drives right there because that's the other thing Brookville has done a lot of, Bob. They've driven to the basket. They've drawn some fouls. They've also made some layups and some points, and this foul is on Jordan Hamlet, his third, second of the half for the Pioneers. 4:02 remaining in the Select Air third quarter. Select Air, call 332-2600. That's 332-2600. Select Air, Mechanical and Electrical. Basketball nearly thrown away by Brookville, and it is. Penix tried to run it down the far sideline and couldn't. Substitutes coming in the ball game.
C.J. Rosser comes in for the Pioneers.
Rosser joins Dante Jefferson, Jalen Martin, Jesse Calloway, and Caleb Sneed on the court for the Pioneers. Sneed driving, had it batted away from behind by Rhodes. They're going to whistle Michael Rhodes for a foul.
I think that'll be his third.
Believe you're right. I think he's got he's got two of them in this half anyway. 3:43 remaining in the Select Air third quarter. It's still a 39-30 Brookville lead. I almost said Altavista lead, Bob. I'm sorry. Brookville lead.
Don't apologize to me. Apologize to listeners.
I'm sorry, listeners. Free throw no good by the Pioneers. Boy, neither team scored in a little while here. A minute or so at least. Substitutes coming in the ball game for the Bees. That's number 3, DeJuan Carter. He joins Roddy Yearwood, Jamil Napier, Daryl Christian, and Jordan Penix.
If I'm Heritage, I hate leaving all these points on the table.
Sure.
At the free throw line.
Got to cash in when you have a chance. That one will go in.
And you're looking at an 8-point game right now.
That was Jesse Calloway on the free throw. Full court pressure again from the Pioneers. Now they'll back off a little bit. Pick it up again at half court. Brookville not over the timeline just yet. Daryl Christian will dribble across. One-hand pass to Jordan Penix. Now back to Christian. Man-to-man defense from the Pioneers. Brookville taking their time. Motion offense. They've got the court spaced out. Daryl Christian behind the back dribble. Now circling the defense to the left. Going to bring it back out away from the basket. Over to Jordan Penix. Penix, the freshman, controls with 3:10 remaining in the third quarter. Brookville leading 39-31.
I like what Penix has done tonight because I don't think he's let Heritage dictate what he's going to do. He's dictated what he's going to do, and I think that's always big for a youngster.
He got knocked to the ground there as he set a screen. Basketball blocked away. Christian tried for a layup, couldn't get it to go in. That was Dante Jefferson on the block. Boy, they just ran right through the screen. Jordan Penix set, and I'm sure he's looking at the official wondering what's going on. And somebody in the crowd didn't exactly like the call, and looks like the official didn't like the criticism, so I digress.
Yes.
2:58 remaining in the quarter. Brookville up 8. Did I call that all correctly there?
I believe you did. Jordan Penix kind of shaken up a little bit right there as he will stay in the game, though.
Yeah, just kind of shrugged it off. Took him a second to get up. And
why can't we have Christmas spirit? I mean, why can't the patrons be nice to the officials? And let's just all enjoy the Yuletide season.
The three wise men, if you will. Basketball batted away. Still Brookville Bees ball. 39-31. They lead by 8. They get it in to Roddy Yearwood. Yearwood looking around for a teammate. He finds Daryl Christian back away from the basket. Yearwood now right in front of his own bench. Over to Jordan Penix.
You know, keep in mind, too, Kyle, I think this is the earliest the Holiday Invitational, Jeff Cocke Memorial, has started recently. Long three by Brookville, no good, rebounded by Heritage. So I know nobody practiced yesterday, and I doubt anybody practiced on Wednesday. Maybe they did, but
maybe an optional shoot-around kind of thing, but you're right. Both these teams probably haven't seen the hardwood in a little while, and the same goes for the two teams in the nightcap. Brookville basketball is the Pioneers throw it away. Go ahead.
Got in the gym this morning, but I mean, you're not going to work them like dogs, you know, on game day.
Yeah, shoot-around, walk-through type of a situation. Maybe you go over a play or two.
Right.
But yeah, probably not going to break a sweat. Penix lost the dribble momentarily. Heritage diving after it. Pioneers do control. Nice pass by number 11. That's C.J. Rosser from his butt. Gets it to Jefferson. That layup won't go. Got his own rebound. That's blocked away by Napier. Heritage ball again. That was Rosser. I think they're going to get Rosser for the on-the-back violation.
It's going the other way.
Yeah, they got Rosser.
Foul's going against Rosser.
He got the rebound. He's standing at the free throw line. He thinks he got fouled. Now he kind of realizes, oh, it's against me.
So Rosser's going to pick up his first.
Yeah, they got Rosser for the over-the-back, on-the-back violation, whatever term you want to use. First foul on him, you're right. Third team foul on Heritage this half.
2-minute warning is it's getting late here in the third quarter.
No kidding.
Pioneers have not had a very productive offensive one.
Not at all. Basketball lost momentarily by Daryl Christian. Christian rolls over. They called the travel on him. He got on the floor to save the possession and just rolled over. That's a traveling violation. You can dive to the floor, but once you start rolling around, they're usually going to call you for that travel. Heritage basketball here. Under 2 minutes to play in the quarter. 39-31. Just not a lot of scoring in a while, Bob.
Pioneers have not stopped playing either tonight. No timeouts called by Les Cam. Scott Jester has burned 2 of the 30s, so he's got 3 fulls left.
Jefferson inside, low block, fouled. Got held there by number 32. That's Sam Slade for the Brookville Bees. Slade's a freshman as well.
I think they called it on 23. I saw 2 and 3 go up.
I think you may be right. And Slade's 32. Foul is on number 23, Jamil Napier. So reverse the numbers there. It's going to send Dante Jefferson to the free throw line either way. Clock stops with 1:44 to play in the Select Air third quarter.
I like the first part of what you said. I think you're right. That's why I will always come down here and help you out, Kyle Haney.
I'll keep that in mind. Free throw good by Dante Jefferson. Pioneers have scored from the stripe some lately, not much from the field lately. But, hey, get them any way you can. 1:44 remaining in the quarter.
And traditionally, Heritage, in big games when they have lost, at least back in the day of the radio show and the podcast that I did, that is where they gave some away from the free throw line. So you've got to think that those kids don't know about that, just me mentioning it. But, the free throw is nothing free about it. You don't have defense on you, but there's a lot of mental pressure.
Yeah, it's not the easiest thing in the world when the whole spotlight is thrown on you. Full court pressure here from the Pioneers. Brookville trying to break that press. Both free throws were converted by Dante Jefferson.
And you can hit them all day in practice, but it's something a bit different when it gets game situation.
A little bit tougher when you get in the game. Rhodes driving left hand, left side of the paint, throws it up, off balance, shot won't go in. Dante Jefferson on the rebound. We got 1:25 to play in the quarter. Pioneers look like they want to get out and get some momentum back. 3 ball, no good from Sneed. Rebounded by Michael Rhodes. Rhodes hit to the deck there by a pair of Pioneers. They're going to call it on 24, Jalen Martin, I believe.
I think that's his first. It is.
Right. 1:17 remaining in the quarter. 39-33. Brookville leads by 6. It was as much as 11 at one point in the quarter. And it was as little as 4 at one point in the quarter. Rhodes catches left wing. Driving hesitation. Now he'll dish it to Napier. Napier free throw line. Jay, no good. Rebounded by C.J. Rosser and the Pioneers.
I'll tell you what, the Pioneers are really pressuring it on the perimeter defensively when Brookville has it.
Layup by Jefferson, good. He kind of sidestepped the defender and just slid in between 2 Brookville Bees players to get the bucket in. We're under 1 minute to play.
We're back to 4, 39-35.
47 seconds to be exact. Bees basketball, you're right, though, about what you said earlier. Heritage really stepping out on the perimeter now. Rhodes, right-handed floater off the backboard. Almost got stuck between the backboard and the rim. Shot no good, but rebounded by Jamil Napier, and his shot will go in. Lead is back up to 6 now, 41-35.
Mediocre minds think alike, Kyle Haney, because I really thought that ball was going to get wedged right there as it came out.
Stopped for a moment, didn't it?
Really did. It was a very interesting situation.
Heritage basketball on the perimeter. That's number 3, Jesse Calloway. Passes away, gives it right back. Long 3, NBA range. Front iron, no good. Dante Jefferson, offensive glass. Threw it up with the left hand, but that won't go in. Fouled.
Might be on Rhodes, and if so, I want to say it's 4.
Yeah. Picked up 2 of them in the quarter. This would be the 3rd one in the quarter, 4th overall. Excuse me. Dante Jefferson going to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
He's got some size.
You're right. It is the 4th one, by the way, on Michael Rhodes. 9.4 seconds remaining in the Select Air third quarter. Yeah, Jefferson, no size listed on the roster. What do you think, 6'4"?
6'3" and a half.
Nice. Well, the hair gets him to 6'4" anyway.
Brooker checks back in for Heritage. So does Cameron Harsley. The Bees will enter Daryl Christian back.
Second one on the way for Dante Jefferson from the Heritage Pioneers.
9.4 to go before the end of 3.
Second one's good, so Brookville's got 9.4 to run the length of the court and try and get a basket of their own. Inbounds pass comes into Jordan Penix. Penix going up near sideline, taken away by Brooker. Brooker, nice bounce pass. That's blocked away. That was Penix on the recovery. They're going to get him with a foul. Oh, boy, Penix thought he got the clean block. And with 3 points.
Yeah, it's on Christian, actually.
Wow. Didn't see that one coming. Penix was the one that got the block. Christian must have gotten him from somewhere else, or possibly another player. Yeah, it is the second one on Daryl Christian. This is going to send C.J. Rosser to the free throw line.
Well, and everything from here is shooting for Heritage. Yep. That was the 16th foul.
First one good.
41-37. You can tell we're in a rusty form as well. Stepping all over each other.
Hoping you were going to say midseason form.
This is what happens when we're off the air, though, people. This is inside look to Bob and Kyle's life.
Second free throw, no good. Rebound was never really controlled. It's off Brookville. Going to stay with Heritage. Heritage has got 2.2 seconds. Going to inbound underneath their own scoring basket. plenty of time for a catch and shoot. You can even get a couple dribbles in.
Yeah, and you know what I like about this, Kyle, is you're getting to a late game situation at the end of a quarter where it's not necessarily, bucket wins, but you're at least getting to practice these critical game situations in December.
That's exactly right. 2.2 seconds left. Here comes Heritage on the inbound. Couple screens set. Brooker looking to throw it in. Tipped away by Jamil Napier. Nice play right there. Runs some time off the clock as Napier just got a fingertip in there, batted against the back wall. 1.6 seconds now on the inbound. Shot goes up. That's Sneed. No good. Excuse me, it was Callaway. Shot was no good either way. And we've come to the end of the third quarter. Brookville, 4-point advantage, 41-37. Fourth quarter on the way when you come back on 105.5 KD Country.
Is there a painting project on your to-do list? English's Home Center has added an additional line of paints. English's features Pratt & Lambert Lifetime Warranty Red Seal Exterior Paints. Choose from hundreds of stunning, beautiful designer colors. Pratt & Lambert Interior or Exterior Paints. Value price to save you money. Pratt & Lambert Paints. Never compromise.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
One team from Campbell County leads by 4. Another team from Campbell County will take the hardwood after this one. The Altavista Colonels taking on Robert E. Lee, but we got to settle this one first. 4-point Brookville lead, 41-37. Back and forth action in the third quarter. I mentioned it, Bob. Brookville swelled the lead out to 11. It was 4 earlier in the quarter. Now it's 4 at the end of the quarter. Interesting. Nobody really, you talked about they're feeling each other out. I don't know. It seems like much of the same. Nobody really wants to break away and take command of this.
Yeah, and I think at this point in the game now it gets down to, Final Four time, so to speak. It is the fourth quarter. If I'm Heritage, I want to try to go to the line. You're going to be shooting the rest of the way, at least 1-1. If not 2, so I at least want to be shooting the rest of the way if you can. If you're Brookville, honestly, I think you just keep playing the way you've been playing. I don't think the Bees have been playing bad at all. I mean, really, against a lesser foe, they're up by more than 4, but Heritage has weathered storms and come back. So if I'm Brookville, I kind of just keep going with what I'm going and make sure that Michael Rhodes, who has got 4, doesn't pick up 5th, as that was a very scary situation for the Bees on the inbound.
Yeah, Michael Rhodes not on the court right now. Brookville does have the basketball to start the fourth quarter. The Select Air fourth quarter. That's O'Brien Holloway. Holloway driving, pulls up from 13 feet, shot back iron, won't go in, rebound goes to the Pioneers. That's Tracy, kicks it off to Callaway now. Excuse me, that's Sneed. Sneed will try a 3. His is no good. Rebound to Brookville. One and done very quickly for both teams. Here comes Penix, just going to outrun the defense. Left-hand layup goes in. Smart play right there to grab the rebound at one free throw line and really just saw that nobody could catch him. And you're going to get a timeout from Heritage and their head coach, Les Cam. We'll take the timeout as well. 30-second variety. Brookville leads 43-37 over Heritage on 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905. Personal, memorable memorial moments, celebrating life and more. Pre-arrangements with confidence, trust and care from our family to yours. Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
7:22 remaining in the opening game of the Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational. Brookville leading the Heritage Pioneers. Pioneers basketball after the timeout. What do you think Les Cam said, Bob?
I think he said we got to cut those drives off. I mean, they can't get any more easy baskets. Foul, and it's going to be in the act of shooting 2 shots for the Bees. I just think he has to have said we can't give up easy buckets anymore because that's what's killing us. And right now you don't know when a easy bucket could be the deciding bucket.
Sure, a game like this, late in the game, every basket counts. Jesse Callaway to the free throw line. I keep confusing those two.
That's all right.
It would be the first time I made a
December
mistake.
form as well.
That's right.
You soloed it the other day up at Goochland. This is only your second game of the year. Too.
Exactly. Thank you, Bob Alvis, coming to my defense. Both free throws go down for Jesse Callaway, so it's a 43-39 Brookville lead.
I tried to get you over to the house to practice, but you're a busy schedule. Just not allow time.
I need to get some more practice time in. You're right. Brookville breaks the timeline. A little bit of pressure there from the Pioneers, but the Bees handled it. Darryl Christian, spin move, driving to the basket. A little bit of a runner, and he throws it in. Line drive at the backboard and gets it to fall in. You talked about Heritage wants to take away the drive. Well, Brookville does it again. Block right there by number 24. That's Roddy Yearwood. Brookville basketball. Bees threatening to pull away here, leading 45-39.
And I'm going to put that last bucket in the easy bucket category, even though it was not, but it was close.
Yeah, and it came exactly from about 5 feet away. It was sort of an awkward shot, but just the proximity of it makes it an easy shot. I mean, you're only 4 or 5 feet away from the basket.
But that's what you can't have if you're Heritage.
That's exactly right. Holloway dishes to Napier. Napier baseline in the paint. That one's good, too, and it comes from the low block. Same situation. That one about 1 or 2 feet away. Nice move by Napier to get it inside, throw it off the window, and in. 47-39, Bees lead.
Yeah, I hate to see this if you're a Pioneers fan, that this lead is growing the other way. And defense right there by Brookville.
Very good. Take away from Holloway. He tipped one, then he got the turnover later on. 2-on-1. Christian driving off the backboard. Shot won't go in, but he is fouled once he got in the air, so he'll head to the free throw line and shoot two. Yeah, Brookville just doing a lot of things right, Bob. I said, at one point in the third quarter, neither team wanted to step up and take control of this game. I think I misspoke. I think the Bees are doing just that.
And Christian hits the first. I agree with you wholeheartedly. 48-39. I'm sorry, I was collecting myself there with your thought process, Kyle. Always makes me think. But not a lot of thinking to do at Subway, as they are our pregame show, halftime, and postgame sponsor. And don't forget to check out the app, which we'll be telling you about later on through the evening as well.
Second free throw, no good from Darryl Christian. 9-point lead for the Bees. Heritage going to try a 3-ball. Back iron, no good. That was Jordan Hamlet. This rebound is loose. Controlled by Heritage. That's Jalen Martin. He is fouled. He goes up for it. He battled his own player, Caleb Sneed, momentarily. Going to go to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Yeah, plenty of good things to talk about in the Subway. We'll call it the Subway pregame show, getting ready for the second game. 2 good interviews, so we may have to wait for the Subway halftime show for some of that stuff.
And speaking of 2, that is the amount of threes that the Pioneers have hit tonight as well, and I think they need to find a way to get a three-point play one way or another. If you're going to get it from behind the arc, that's great. If you want to do it the old-fashioned way before that arc was put in, you can do it that way too.
And the old-fashioned way is probably even a little bit better when you're down. Free throw goes in. Another timeout by Heritage coach Les Cam. This is a full 1-minute timeout. We'll take it as well. Brookville leads 48-41 over Heritage. 5 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the ball game on 105.5 KD Country.
We are Physical Therapy Rehab Associates of Central Virginia, Timberlake Road, Lynchburg. Self-referral to physical therapy with or without doctor's referral. Rehab Associates physical therapists have advanced degrees in specialty orthopedic care from head to toe. Rehab Associates of Central Virginia can help take away your pain and return you to normal activity. We are Physical Therapy Rehab Associates of Central Virginia, Timberlake Road, Lynchburg. Our goal is your success.
We're back at Bug Motor Company, 3 miles south of the airport in Lynchburg, and we're talking with James Duranzo, the manager of Bug Motors.
Thanks, David. This is James, and I wanted to tell you guys about an awesome program that we just started. It's our first-time buyer program. You're guaranteed as long as you can prove your income and that you can afford the payment, we can get you in a car as low as 10% down here at Bug Motors, and we are the Super Truck Center with over 40 trucks to choose from.
Don't wait too long. Come on down to Bug Motors and get a deal today.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
48-41, Brookville leads. Heritage called the timeout. I'll ask you again here in just a second what you think Heritage coach Les Cam was talking about, Bob. Let's let the Brookville Bees see if they can break this full court pressure from the Pioneers first, and they can't. Tipped away. That's stolen by number 24, Martin. Jalen Martin, layup, good. Heritage cutting into it.
Yeah, I think that was part of the conversation, to be honest with you.
I imagine it was. Same full court pressure again. Let's see if the Bees can break it this time. They do get it across half court. This is Holloway. Holloway dishes to Yearwood. Yearwood blocked by number 5, Dante Jefferson. Fouled in the act of shooting. This will send Roddy Yearwood to the free throw line. All right, go ahead. Maybe there was a little bit more to it than just that.
Well,
they did get some points out of the timeout.
If you're a Pioneers fan, I think you've got to be hating every time Kyle Haney utters the word 5-footer or in the paint or whatever for Brookville in terms of getting those buckets, because I think that's one thing. If you pressure them in the backcourt and can get a turnover, they're not getting it down there to get a bucket. So I think that was probably kind of the main, cause. Let's pick up a little bit more pressure in the backcourt or along the perimeter, force some turnovers to not have them have those easy shots.
Sure. Both free throws converted by Roddy Yearwood. Nice job by him. Nice job from the Brookville Bees really all night from the charity stripe. They lead 50-43. 7-point advantage, and it's starting to get late early. We're just over 5 minutes to play in the ball game. Colonels taking on the Robert E. Lee Fighting Lee men to follow this one. Make sure you stay tuned if you're a Colonel fan tuning in early. We hope you enjoy the bonus basketball. Heritage basketball. Sneed picked up the dribble, being guarded by Napier. Has to throw it long to teammate Jesse Calloway. Back to Sneed. Sneed pump fake. 17-footer. Won't go down. Rebound. Still loose. Controlled by Jordan Penix from the Brookville Bees. He wants to run. Going to try and beat the defense down again. Dish in the middle of the lane to Daryl Christian, who is trailing. That won't go in. Rebound by the Pioneers. Calloway controls. Running the fast break himself. Oh, nice pass to Jefferson. Jefferson scores it there. Took a little resistance. Stuck it up to the backboard and in. 5-point game.
And
Brookville up.
I think that's another thing. If you're Heritage, and I'm not trying to knock the half-court offense, but if you can get some points in transition, I think that's all for the better, too.
Might be the best way to get them right now. Back and forth basketball here as Holloway loses it again and hits the deck. He appears to be hurt. Jump ball, possession arrow favors Heritage, but O'Brien Holloway still on the ground. Now he's back on his feet.
You just wanted Scott Jester to, get a little bit closer to him, get some of that good Altavista mojo. Coach Jester, an alum. And, I think if you can get not even necessarily transition, but just don't let Brookville set up in half court, because I think that's where they get a little dangerous defensively.
I would agree. Long jump shot on the way from Sneed. That's no good. Rebound comes down to Daryl Christian from the Bees. He's just weaving his way in and out of traffic. One-hand pass. Got tipped out of bounds. Bees will retain possession.
Down there in the Terry Brown section, as I think we can start calling it.
That is. That's a good section down there. I don't know if it cost extra or not. I think you just got to get here early. And Daryl Christian will come over and inbound on the far sideline. Bees going left to right on the radio dial in this quarter. Maybe we didn't say that yet.
Well, and the other thing too, Kyle, if I'm Heritage, I'd rather have Brookville make baskets in transition as Rhodes is going to pick up a foul against the Heritage defense. To get that, just don't let Brookville set up in a half-court offense or half-court defense.
Well, and especially when you're down, you don't want Brookville dictating the pace in the half-court offense there and passing the ball around the perimeter. Michael Rhodes shooting 2 here. With just under 4 minutes to play, Brookville up 5.
They're in the bonus now, too.
First free throw off the front iron, then backboard, and no good.
Well, I'm also a fan. I shouldn't say I'm a fan, but I am a believer that if the offense gets going fast, there's just another chance, Kyle, for the offense to mess up because they're going fast.
Free throw no good. Dante Jefferson on the rebound. Yes, speed can kill in a multitude of ways in basketball. Sometimes it kills your opponent. Sometimes it kills you. Heritage basketball in the front court. High post screen set up by Jefferson. Basketball gets over to Jesse Calloway. Calloway crossover move. Now he'll dish it underhanded to Martin. Martin driving inside, blocked away by number 24. Roddy Yearwood on the defense there for the Bees. And Brookville has the basketball with 3.5 minutes to play.
And, we talk about dictating tempo. It's not always a meticulous, slow tempo. I mean, Dan River has been great at dictating tempo when we're going to speed you up to where you're going to run all night, whether you want to or not. And when Altavista plays Dan River, it's very interesting to see it go the other way, like it's going now with Heritage.
Calloway with the steal, blocked away by Michael Rhodes. That's going to be 5 fouls on Michael Rhodes. Tried to make a play on the basketball. I'm sure he knew that he had 4 fouls, but felt like, hey, I got to try and swat this thing away. He comes up limping. He took some little bit of contact on his way down. He's done for the night. O'Brien Holloway checks in for him. And Jesse Calloway shooting 2 for the Heritage Pioneers, who trail by 5, 50-45 over the Brookville Bees.
And I'm sure that could be a teaching moment for Coach Jester and squad as well. Either good job, I like your aggressiveness, or hey, Michael, you got 4 fouls in that situation.
Yeah.
Let's give him the bucket.
Exactly. Maybe he's saying, hey, it's just 2 points. I'd rather have you on the court for the last 3.5 minutes, or 3 minutes and 9 seconds. But don't know, not inside Coach Jester's head. So like you said, he may have liked the effort right there. 1 of 2 converted for Calloway. Brookville leading by 4. Here comes O'Brien Holloway. One-hand bounce pass to Penix. Penix banged around into his own bench and teammates, and he'll go to the free throw line and shoot a 1-and-1 after the foul.
Well, you say it's just 2 points, but is it really? Because, I mean, you're taking points away probably with Rhodes not being out there, and you're giving more points. So, I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's kind of like that dunk we always talk about. You know, it counts for two, but does it really count for more?
Yeah.
Because it can get your team involved as well.
No, that's right. It's be interesting to get Coach Jester's perspective on that.
I'll see if I can take care of that in between.
Nice. We could wait for the pregame interview tomorrow.
Right, that's that's in between.
My apologies. First free throw converted there by Jordan Penix, 51-46. Brookville lead back up to 5. 3:01 left to play in the Select Air fourth quarter.
I didn't come down here, Kyle, to give you 50% of Bob Alves.
No more softballs from Bob Alves. Second one in there by Jordan Penix. Timeout from the Brookville Bees. Let's take a 30-second timeout as well. Bees leading the Pioneers 52-46. Bonus basketball in 105.5 KD Country.
To many nonprofit organizations. I'm Kathy Morgan with First National Bank, and we have a checking account just for nonprofits and faith-based organizations that has no minimum balance requirement and no monthly maintenance fee. We also specialize in offering financing when your group needs a loan. So come see us at First National Bank, and we'll provide your organization with an extraordinary customer experience. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Brookville leading 52-46. If you're tuning in for the Altavista Colonels, you're in the right place. Just a little bonus coverage of the Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational Christmas Tournament here from Altavista. Colonels taking on the Lee men from Robert E. Lee. This one not all settled yet, but I tell you, Bob, Scott Jester and the Brookville Bees, they've done a nice job. Heritage is going to have to do something pretty special down the stretch in this one. I know we've got 3:01 left. That's an eternity in basketball.
Right. Yeah, we could
but
be here for
I'd rather
30
be
minutes.
the team with the lead with 3 minutes left than the team trailing.
Yeah, I mean, I could throw that the other way, is the team with the lead comfortable with the lead. You know, I mean, I get what you're saying. I definitely want the lead, but if you're Heritage, make Brookville uncomfortable leading by 6.
Sure, Jesse Calloway dribble. Going to hand off to Caleb Sneed. Sneed going to pull up from 7 feet. Left side, no good. Rebound to Jordan Penix from the Brookville Bees. Penix going to get out and run. Now he'll slow it up. Behind the back dribble. Boy, Penix is a nice athlete for just a freshman.
He's got a motor.
Backdoor cut. Christian driving. Layup won't go in. They're going to get him with an offensive foul as Dante Jefferson stood in there and took the charge. He was deep underneath the basket, Bob. You know, there's no restricted circle like there is in the NBA, but maybe that was the thought process there. Or, excuse me, that's not the thought process because they called the charge.
I respectfully disagree with that. It looked like the feet were kind of backpedaling a little bit just at the last split second. So Coach Jester, I think, applauds the effort as well of Christian.
Yeah, Christian really took to the skies on that one. We saw him dunk earlier, not that time. Long three converted by Jesse Calloway. When you're wearing number 3, you ought to be able to shoot some threes, and Calloway did that right there. It's a 52-49 Brookville lead. Only up 3 now. Here comes Penix down left sideline. Now take it to the middle of the court. Right elbow going to back it out more towards half court. Controlling with the dribble. Motion offense going on in front of him. Left-hand dribble, just hands it off to teammate Daryl Christian. Christian going to sky up for the layup again. It's good. Dante Jefferson tried to take the charge again. He might have been in better position that time, Bob, but no call.
That one could be more legit to me.
Sure.
54-49.
Calloway, chest pass over to teammate. That's Martin. Back to Calloway. Calloway standing in the half-court circle. Now he's going to dribble it to his right side. Another handoff to Caleb Sneed.
The Heritage offense, Kyle, does not need to be in a hurry. They need to be look for something good, not look for something quick.
1:30 remaining in this basketball game. That's 90 seconds. 54-49. Brookville lead. Tipped away there. Roddy Yearwood got in the passing lane. O'Brien Holloway came away with it. Holloway, right side. Layup. It's good. The Bees. Boy, Heritage might need to be in a hurry now, Bob. They trail 56-49, 7-point deficit.
I still want something good. I don't want anything wild from beyond the arc.
I agree. Not yet, anyway. You get down to 30 seconds, you might get a little wild. 3 ball on the way from Calloway. That's good. Nice shot right there from Jesse Calloway. Just stepped up and fired it in. 60 seconds remaining in the ball game.
The next foul is still a 1-and-1, so I'd almost try to get it on the floor.
4-point Brookville lead. Jordan Penix driving for them. Blocked away. Basketball going to stay to the Brookville Bees. Went out of bounds. Off the hand of number 10, Jordan Hamlet.
Good block by Hamlet to get to the rack early. Now a little talking with Penix, as Penix, a freshman, being ushered away from that.
Yeah, they're going to
by the old man of the group, O'Brien Holloway. He's only a junior.
And number 2, Caleb Sneed, tried to set up like he was going to inbound the ball, and the referee said, no, it's Brookville basketball. And you're right, little pleasantries being exchanged there.
One of the officials now trying to say, we're all going to stay calm.
Sure. It's a Christmas season, like Bob Alvis said. Daryl Christian on the inbound. Oh, nice inbounds play to get Daryl Christian free underneath the basket. Penix on the assist. Brookville stretching the lead back out, 58-52. Traveling violation on the Pioneers. Callaway took too many steps. Brookville basketball now with 44.9 seconds, Bob. A Brookville basket here might seal it up.
If this holds, Heritage at least does not have to sit on a bad taste for long. They've got it at 7:30-ish tomorrow night against Altavista.
Yep. Colonels will be on after this one, but we're not done yet. Penix lost the basketball momentarily. Scott Jester wants a timeout to save the possession. Let's take a 30-second timeout as well. 36 seconds remain in the ball game. It's a 58-52 Brookville lead over Heritage on 105.5 KD Country.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Littles Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Littles Heating and Cooling.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show for the Altavista Colonels. Not too far away. We're still wrapping up the bonus basketball. Bob, 58-52. Brookville leading. 36 seconds left. To me, it's really desperation time now for the Pioneers. I think they've got a foul, in fact, because it's Brookville basketball.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't have to, but...
Yeah, I know. I'm with you on that. But I think the first thing, if I'm Heritage, I'm not allowing anything from 3 feet on this inbounds pass to go up in the hole.
Sure. And Daryl Christian's right there from close, blocked away by Sneed. Rebound comes down to Yearwood. Yearwood sticks it in. Brookville leading by 8 now, 29 seconds left. Heritage is going to need some long bombs here, I think, from 3. Callaway driving, travel, loses the basketball. That's pretty much going to wrap it up. Les Cam may tell his guys not to foul now, Bob. Well, Heritage trailing by 8 with 24 seconds.
If you foul, I definitely think you're fouling in the backcourt.
Yeah, they do have the full court pressure going. The inbound to Roddy Yearwood. Back to Christian. Yearwood, they look like they're trying to foul. Yeah, and they can't. Brookville moved the ball too quickly. Napier with the layup. It's a 10-point lead now. Brookville's going to go on to win this one. We're under 10 seconds to play. 3-ball try coming from the Pioneers. No good. Rebound comes down to Jordan Penix. He's just going to hold it. Might have gotten fouled there, but the refs know the basketball game is over. Final buzzer. Heritage falls to the Brookville Bees, 62-52. Bees a winner. Subway pregame show for the Altavista Colonels. We'll get started right after this on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
Lowest prices of the year. Lowest payments of the year. Great selection. That's what's going on now at Feller Chevrolet in Altavista. All prices have been reduced for this year-end sales event. No games, no prizes, no hassles, just rock-bottom prices. The car you buy at Feller Chevrolet this week will be the best deal of the year. Make sure you shop Fellers before you buy. Feller Chevrolet year-end sales event going on now in Altavista. Don't miss it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show getting started here. Maybe we should call it the Subway postgame show. Mr. Alvis, we'll give you some final thoughts about the Brookville Bees' victory over the Heritage Pioneers. And while you're collecting those thoughts, let me tell you, that game featuring the Bees and the Pioneers brought to you by Rehab and Associates on Timberlake Road in Lynchburg. We are physical therapy. Rehab and Associates of Central Virginia. Self-referral to physical therapy with or without a doctor's referral. Rehab Associates physical therapists have advanced degrees, and they can keep you healthy from head to toe. Call them 237-6812. That's Bob Alvis, you're an athlete. You know the importance of staying healthy and the rehab and all that. We do thank Rehab and Associates for helping us bring you that bonus basketball here on 105.5. Chris Owen, of course, brings our streaming internet broadcast at kdcountry.com or with the TuneIn app. So why not a little Chris Owen Good Hands Award Player of the Game time for the Bees and the Pioneers. I'll go first. Brookville was the visitor, so I'll do them first. I love what the freshman Jordan Penix did, Bob. Number 4. Well, he's playing with the big boys as just a young man and stepped in there like he owned the place.
Is that who you're taking?
Jordan Penix,
sorry,
Brookville Bees, my player of the game.
I was trying to figure that out.
No, you're right. I didn't make it completely clear.
A lot of options you can go with. I'm going to actually go a different direction and go with Napier. I thought Jamil Napier played a very nice game offensively and defensively, so that's my guy, player of the game, Jamil Napier.
On the other side for the Heritage Pioneers, came up 10 points short in this one. I like the big man Dante Jefferson inside there, number 5. Was on the glass, had some points inside. When they cut the lead down, he was the one doing a lot of the damage.
If not for Jesse Callaway's outside shooting, though, they're losing by more than 10. So I'm going to go that direction.
I think you're...
we are in midseason form. We're not agreeing on anything
right.
so far.
I think we're both in the right, though. Brookville getting the 62-52 lead. And again, we'll bring you Bees basketball tomorrow as part of the bonus basketball when they take on Robert E. Lee. Heritage will be in the nightcap against the Altavista Colonels. Short little preview from us, then we're going to let you hear from the coaches. Altavista 1-0 on the season. Robert E. Lee, I think they're 6 or 7 games into it, if I'm not mistaken.
4-2, I want to say.
And you'll hear Coach Cardellaro talk about it. This is not the Robert E. Lee of the 90s, multiple state championships, but still a very good Lehman team.
Yes, absolutely. It's a little bit different look for the Lehman as they did lose some players off last year. They're 2 down tonight as well. So Robert E. Lee definitely gives a different look. I talked to Jared Hatcher. His father, Paul, legendary coach, is actually listening tonight. So that's more pressure on somebody who's doing play-by-play, Kyle Haney. So that's a little bit more for you. But R.E. Lee, definitely a rich tradition, and we'll talk about that as the evening goes.
Yeah, let's hear from the guys that know a little bit more basketball than us. We'll hear from the head coach of the Altavista Colonels, Mike Cardellaro, first. Take a little break, and then we'll hear from Jared Hatcher, the R.E. Lee Fighting Leemen. It's Colonels, Leemen. Tip-off about 18 minutes away. It's all live on 105.5 KD Country.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all.
We haven't been together. This is just going to take time. There's no magical wand. You just need to be on the floor and pay your dues, so to speak, being on that hardwood for practice and games before you start to iron out a few things. But they did a real nice job.
Are you looking for a quote-unquote fifth Beatle to go along with those guys, or are you fine with a bunch of people taking up that fifth guy role?
You know, that's a good question, and Coach Ward and I have talked about that. That may be a bunch. Josh did a nice job. Nelson came off the bench and filled that fifth spot. Donovan Montague could be somebody that could play that fifth spot a little bit too. Mateo, but we need bench support. You can't play with 4, you got to play with 5, and you really need some backups on the bench. So all of those guys are going to figure in to playing, hopefully, a substantial amount of minutes as the year gets going.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be one of those things that irons itself out as the year goes on. Let's move on to tonight. The Fighting Leemen from Robert E. Lee in town, one of the all-time great programs in the state of Virginia. You mentioned a little bit in the other pregame interview that they're sort of in a rebuilding phase. Tell us what you know about R.E. Lee here coming in tonight.
Well, they are a historic program. And, as a child, I always, and a high school player, we played them in the summertime and scrimmaged them over in the valley. And that was the measuring stick of everybody, really single A, double A, and triple A in the state of Virginia with Coach Hatcher and his program. And it's been down a little bit. Jarrett has taken that program in his 4th year, and I think they're ready to turn that corner. They're a dangerous group. They're young, they're athletic, they're long, and in basketball being long is real important. They lost their best player from last year, but I think that they're better without him, and that's no insult to Sheffy at all. He was a tremendous player, but I think everybody else has stepped up and shouldered the responsibility for that group. And they've got nice balanced scoring. They look like they play well together. And I really think they are maybe half a season. Who knows? Maybe tonight. I don't know. But I do think that Robert E. Lee basketball was getting ready to turn a corner to being old Robert E. Lee basketball, where they were a very dominant powerhouse in high school basketball.
Keys for the victory tonight, similar as every other night, playing good defense, rebounding, that sort of thing?
Yeah, they have a really, really good shooter. He's the best shooter I've seen, and we've scouted a lot of games in the month of December. Gunnar Price, he's about 6'4" on the wing, and he's had a couple of games where he's had 6 or 7 threes and a half. So, obviously we've got to run him off a three-point line. We cannot let him get comfortable at all. They kind of feed off of his three-point shooting, and it kind of gets everybody else going. So a real key really is to take him out. As always, play good, solid defense on everyone else. The positive for this team is to control the glass, and we did against Goochland. I think we won 40-25 on the glass. We're big enough, we're athletic enough that we should win on the glass. And I think we need to limit our turnovers. And the key stat there, we had 15 assists against Goochland. If we turn around and have 15 assists tonight, that means we're really sharing the ball, getting it to the open man, and hopefully that would make it a good night for us.
Coach, you're a little under the weather, but you still got enough heart in there to pull through and do the shout-outs, as always.
Yes, absolutely. Big Colonel shout-outs to Sarah and Swanson, our neighbors, and they actually may be at the game, but I'm going to go ahead and be on the safe side and give them a shout-out. They're excited about the season. My father's listening in Buena Vista, and he'll be over tomorrow night to watch us play Heritage, but I know he's listening in and very faithful fan. Minnie in Florida, I know, was listening in. Hello and Merry Christmas to her. And to Micah and his family up in Manassas, I believe they're listening in also. And that's a short list, but anybody wants to add to it, please give us a call.
Shout-outs are always fun. Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational, always fun. Let's get it started here in about 10 minutes on 105.5 KD Country.
It's the KD Country Dollar Saver Guy with this week's KD Country Dollar Saver half-price deal of the week. We're off to the White Hart Cafe in Lynchburg, where they're serving up 3 terrific meals a day. We've got a $20 certificate to the White Hart Cafe for just half price, $10. You'll have to be quick. These certificates are on sale right now online at kdcountrydollarsaver.com. Be quick. Order now online at kdcountrydollarsaver.com.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
You always get to meet some exciting people at the Altavista Christmas tournament, Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational, and last year I got to meet a real good guy, and he's the head coach of Robert E. Lee men's basketball team, Coach Jared Hatcher. And Coach, I think you're coming back for the basketball, not for the camaraderie with me, but let's talk a little bit about the season so far. 4-2. Well, go ahead.
It's you. As when we met last year, I was familiar with your sports buffet podcast, and I've seen you on Virginia Preps years ago, and so I was glad to meet you. It was like meeting a celebrity. And as far as you were a much better host than Coach Cardellera was last year.
Well, good news for you. My hand is still in good shape to sign some autographs because I don't do it that often, so no hand cramping.
Well, that's perfect. I tell you, Coach Cardellera, we might get to this a little later. He's one of my best friends in the business, and for the last 15 years, so it's been a mentor and a kind of a big brother, and so it's I'm very aware of the program he's built at Altavista, and to compete against him, and a chance to compete against a team that he's had for the last 2 seasons and going into this third year is exciting for our kids.
How does it feel, though, to come in with a little momentum and a 4-2 start before you see the Colonels?
Well, I don't know if we were 6-0 and if I had some of my championship teams, I don't know that I'd feel really good. I know it's going to be a tough battle. We're a little bit better than we were last year at this time. We got more wins under our belt. We were a team really searching for an identity last year. We played fairly well. We got beat by almost 20 points. But all things considered, it was a turning point in our season. in the way we wanted to play and as far as competition, and helped us down the road. We ended up being our conference champs, and going to Altavista, playing in that environment, playing against the quality of kid, and then obviously with Coach Carlera, it really helped us. So we're excited. I mean, we know what we have in store for us, and as I told the kids in practice before the Christmas break, you don't ever get a chance probably like this. You're playing the defending two-time state champion, and you're the home season opener. So it'll be a great environment. I know a lot of the folks in Altavista will want to be out to see how good the Colonels are going to be, and so we're looking forward to the challenge. We know it's going to be a really tough battle, and we'd be very lucky to stay on the floor with them.
You talk about it was a turning point for you guys, and it ended up being a positive turning point. However, seeing a lot of Altavista games over the years when they've had a real strong club, I've seen it go the other way for somebody too. How did you, in your opinion, keep it to be a positive to where, when Altavista beats some people by 20, they kind of shut down and, very hard to get back up from that?
Well, one of the things that we knew going in, they had a decided height advantage against us. They're bigger than we are this year as well. I came out and zoned Altavista because I knew that they'd only been practicing for about a week, and I didn't know how much zone offense they'd worked on. I did that as a function of the big guys, and we played fairly well in the zone. I mean, we gave up 65 points, but I was pleased. Our defense was a little bit better, and so we shifted then after the Altavista game to playing more deliberate, and to eventually by the end of the season we were all out holding the ball. We had a score of 4-2 in one of our playoff games at the end of the first quarter. So after kind of analyzing the way we played, and Mike's encouragement, I thought he had seen us up to that point 2 or 3 times, and he was very positive with my guys, and so we kind of switched to his zone and became very deliberate with the basketball. So it was a good turning point for us.
You've been around Robert E. Lee basketball pretty much your whole life, and obviously your father was a great coach, Paul Hatcher, state titles, everything. I mean, people talk about him as one of the, great coaches in the history of Virginia High School League basketball. How hard has it been to maintain, just coaching a legendary program and talk about the pride that you feel in it?
Well, it's really interesting that you asked that. I mean, I was a ball boy. I was a manager. I filmed games. The typical coach's son. I played for my dad. At Lee, I've been the JV coach, the volunteer coach, the interim coach, the head coach, just the varsity assistant. So I've been around it, as you said, my whole life. And I understood what was involved taking over. You should never follow kids and children and dogs on stage, and you shouldn't take over for a legend. And so it's been interesting because I was my dad's assistant for about 18 years, so a lot of his success I was a part of. And in very different ways, I take pride in that I was able to help my dad accomplish things. And so I'm an alum, and it means a lot for Lee High, and Stanton and general basketball has been pretty important. So there's a lot of pressure, but I think probably anybody that coaches, the pressure we put on ourselves is far greater than any external pressure that people put on us. But I knew going in that I had large shoes to fill, and my dad and I talked quite a bit, and I've got goals. I'm never going to win 897 games like he did. I'm never going to win 4 state titles. I just want to do the best job I can, and I'd like to be in a position where one of my teams can compete for a state title.
I want to get to a question about Coach Cardellaro in a minute, but let's first talk about your team. Kyle and I will be doing the game tonight. If we're calling these names on the radio, give me some names that will be successful for Robert E. Lee.
Well, I tell you, we've last year we were kind of a one-man show. This year I've got 2 guards that are playing really well right now. Gunnar Cook, sometimes he wears number 3, sometimes he wears number 30, depending on what uniforms we wear. Gunnar is shooting about 65% from the 3-point line, and he can fill it up. Unfortunately, one of the games that he hit 7 threes in, Coach Cardellaro saw, so I don't think we're going to be able to sneak that in. But he's had 2 games. Our last game against Bruton, he hit 5 threes in the first quarter. He's a fantastic shooter. We need to get him the ball in the right spots to score for us. Corey Darkus is a senior. And actually, the first game he started last year was against Altavista. He played well against Brookville, and we put him in the lineup. Corey's a senior for us, number 10. Also an excellent shooter. Then I've got a third kind of perimeter slash inside kid, Darius George. Darius is about a 6'4", 6'5", sophomore. He's not shot the ball real well at this point from behind the line, but he has that ability, and we need Darius to rebound and score in transition. And those three have kind of been a key go-to guys as far as point production, and they've been in double figures pretty much every game. And then at point guard, Q, Harden, or Tavian Brown. It depends on which one of those guys we kind of platoon at point guard. And those guys just kind of, they're true point guards. They handle the ball and distribute, not big scores. But primarily those big three for us have to be in double figures for us to even have a chance. We're not a real bulky team, but we've got a little bit of size. And if Gunnar hits about 10 threes and Corey hits about 10 threes, I feel pretty good about my chances.
And, you know, we talked about it. You don't have your head in the sand. You know this is a very good Altavista club, and we talked before recording the interview about you guys had football success a few years ago. Even with a talented group like Coach Cardellaro has, how challenging is it to get the guys ready and in basketball shape coming off an extended football season?
I tell you, it's we've never had the team go as far, but we were in a situation where we had back-to-back champions with the same group of kids. They won as sophomores, they won as juniors, very similar to what Mike's situation is. And, you know, people on the outside look and think, well, gosh, they're very talented. That's easy to coach. You know, I can coach that team. And really the hard part is managing egos and managing minutes and keeping guys involved. You know, we've been fortunate. We've won 6 state titles at league. And when you point to the black and white photos or the old photos, you know, you can tell all the old, you know, win-win for the Gipper stories. But Mike's most recent success, those guys are still with him. You know, and so to motivate kids that have already succeeded, that's a real tough challenge. And also know that everybody that you play, they're going to give you their absolute best effort. And so I think it's I would like to have Mike's problems. But, you know, he does such a nice job, and he has for years. You know, I've been to the state tournament and watched Mike prior to the last couple of years, and I've always admired his teams and really admired the program that he's built. And so for a coach, the challenge is with football guys, getting them ready. You know, you're right, I don't have my head in the sand, and I don't have any delusions of grandeur. I'm glad I'm playing them the second game of the year instead of a month from now. You know, there might be a little slip-off from what I understand with the way they play against Gibson. You know, those guys are playing at a high level already, and obviously they're a talented group. They've been successful, and they're well coached. And so that's not a good combination for the opponent.
Coach, always fun talking to you. Final question, and I saw this a few weeks ago when Virginia Tech hosted Liberty University. Buzz Williams and Dale Layer, great friends. Buzz Williams said it's a game that he hated to coach against such a good friend. Do you subscribe to Buzz's theory, or do you subscribe to, hey, we're good friends, let's see what my guys can do, let's see what his guys can do, and we'll hook them up?
Okay, I play a lot of golf, and, you know, golf, you it's more camaraderie there, and so you're competing against somebody, and, you know, a guy knocks it in real close, makes a birdie, does something really fantastic. You know, you say, hey, great job, and you compete as hard as you can. At the end of the day, you shake hands, and I can learn a lot from Mike competing against him, and I can, you know, definitely all of our late-night conversations and email and text, I've learned so much, and so I'm looking forward to our program. We've always felt we'll go anywhere and play anybody. We want to be the best in 2A, and you know, Mike's got one of the best teams in the state, so I'm looking forward to it. It is hard when you look down on the other end and the guy that you're competing against is somebody you care about. And so I'm looking forward to it. It's a good experience for our program, and you know, then we'll have to turn right around and play Brookville the next night. So we're building for the postseason, and this experience this weekend will be great for us.
Well, you being an avid golfer, I might be able to get you 5 more friends by the time you leave within just our immediate broadcasting network, and they might not let you leave.
Boy, that sounds perfect. And I travel in the summer when there's no basketball. The clubs are in the car, and I'm all over the state, so I don't mind coming to Lynchburg or Altavista, or I've played a lot of golf down in that area before, so maybe I need to come back in the spring and play some golf. All right?
Yeah, maybe I can get the job of just chauffeuring you in the cart because I'm not a golfer myself.
Well, that would be good. You could do a play-by-play of all my poor golf shots.
Awesome. It's good to know I now have work in the summer, too. Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you before your game against Brookville on Saturday.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for having me on.
Jared Hatcher on the Subway pregame show. More after this on 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905. Personal, memorable memorial moments, celebrating life and more. Pre-arrangements with confidence, trust and care from our family to yours. Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, with offices in Lynchburg.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show rolls on, and online ordering is here with Subways of Altavista. You can go to subway.com and click on the order online button, or you can download the app from your app store. Orders usually take about 15 minutes, and it's such an easy way to order when you're on the go, Bob. I don't know if there's anything easy about the Colonel's pregame show with the lasered lights and the crowd and the enthusiasm of PA announcer Kenny Hunt, but sure is a lot of fun.
Yeah, everybody in early season form, as we talked about here tonight. One thing that's not in early season form are the starting lineups. They normally are consistent. We'll go with the visitors from Robert E. Lee first. Head coach Jared Hatcher. He's got number 3, Gunnar Cook, a 6'4" junior guard. Corey Darkus, a 6'1" senior guard. Perleek Williams, a 5'9" sophomore guard. Zalik Porter, a 6'2" senior forward, and Casey Taylor, a 6'2" junior forward. Altavista coached by Mike Cardellaro. They will throw out number 1, Michi Malbeck, 5'9" senior guard. Juan Thornhill, a 6'2" senior guard. Demetrius Johnson, a 6'3" senior forward, wears number 5. Brother Darius is a 6'4" senior center, wears number 10. And Josh McClure, 6'2" sophomore forward, wears number 30. The officials for tonight's game, Quentin Murphy, Greg Howard, and Mark Coleman.
Very good crew out there tonight, Bob, and a very good crowd. We thought the crowd would build, and they have. They were arriving as the first game was going on. They're here now. The pep band is here, making it lively and fun. We'll tell you about the folks that make our broadcast possible. The First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. Bug Motors, over 40 different cars and trucks in stock, just minutes south of the airport on Route 29. Select Air, Mechanical, and Electrical, your authorized train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving family since 1905. Feller Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. English Building Supply, your complete home center, and Pratt and Lambert paint dealer. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, comfortable in between. Highview Motors GMC, from small to tall, Highview has it all. And English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Both teams at midcourt in the jump circle. Robert E. Lee in the road blues, got a little bit of white trim. Pretty simple-looking uniform. Colonels in the home white. Black and orange trim, got the great shoes. Tip-off immediately goes the Altavista Colonels, but now it's stolen away by Robert E. Lee. We'll give you a little more information on the folks that bring us our game as this game goes along. Josh McClure playing defense on big number 24. That's Zalik Porter in the corner. They throw it to Gunnar Cook. You heard Coach Hatcher talk about Gunnar Hook in the pregame. You heard Coach Cardellaro talk about Gunnar Cook in the pregame. Now it's in the hands of Casey Taylor. Taylor, long cross-court pass, intercepted by Juan Thornhill. Thornhill's got to run to the basket, layup, count it, and he's fouled. Looked like Juan might have wanted to dunk there, Bob, but the contact from Robert E. Lee made him change his plans, still converted the basket.
He'll go to the free throw line trying to convert the old-fashioned three-point play.
Our streaming online audio brought to you by your Allstate agent in Lynchburg, Chris Owen. Juan Thornhill Free throw, back iron, no good. Rebounded by Demetrius Johnson. Count that basket. 4-0 early lead for the Colonels off the missed free throw. Still 7 minutes, 20 seconds to play in the Select Air first quarter.
You hate to say that's become a kind of an offense, but in a way it has.
Really, in the past 3 or 4 years, that missed free throw has been very beneficial to the Colonels, and it's a strange thing that a missed free throw can be beneficial to a team, but it is. Herleek Williams driving. Now he'll hand it off to number 24. That's Porter. Porter down low to Taylor on the low block. Now cross-court pass, top of the key to Darkus, and Darkus rains the three in from the left wing. First points of the game for Robert E. Lee comes at 6:52 in the first quarter. Thornhill driving, stop, kicks it out to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson, long jumper from the left wing, no good. Rebound controlled by Casey Taylor.
Nice pass. Throws
it ahead quickly. Maybe an extra step there by the lead man, number 24. That was Porter. But no whistle and count the basket, and we have a 5-4 Robert E. Lee lead.
Altavista is going to be a test for a lot of people this year. Jared Hatcher acknowledged that as well, and I think you just want to see your guys really play hard and hope that good things can happen.
Man-to-man defense to start out for the Lee men. 3 ball, Josh McClure, no good. Rebound comes down to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson put it on the floor and had it bobbled away. Regained possession, fouled going up for the second chance try, and he'll head to the free throw line with 6:12 remaining in the Select Air first quarter. It's a 5-4 Lee men lead.
Second on Herleek Williams.
And Williams has both team fouls for Robert E. Lee. First free throw on the way for the right-handed shooting Demetrius Johnson is good. And a substitute will check in the game. That's Tavian Brown for Robert E. Lee. Starter still in the court for the Colonels. That's Michi Malback, Juan Thornhill, the brothers Johnson, Darius and Demetrius, and Josh McClure. Second free throw good for Demetrius Johnson. It's a 6-5 Altavista Colonel lead.
Tell you what, I haven't seen Michi in a while. I was kind of shocked. Did the football helmet swallow the hair?
Pass thrown away by Robert E. Lee. Yeah, Michi's got a little tight cut going out there for the hairdo. And, of course, when you talk about hairdos and looks, Mike Cardellaro still in the customary gray pants, black turtleneck. That hasn't changed this year. Pass from Demetrius down low to brother Darius. Darius deposits the basket from the right-hand post. Nice job by the brothers Johnson to hook up for points there. 8-5, the Altavista Colonel lead. Just under 6 minutes to play in the first quarter.
6 of the 8 have come from 5 and 10. Demetrius and Darius have gotten off to a very quick start.
Brothers Johnson are going to be tough to handle on the inside for a lot of teams. It seems like it's happening that way against Robert E. Lee here tonight. Gunnar Cook with the basketball, far sideline. One-hand shovel pass to Tavian Brown. Brown driving. Now the kick out. 3 ball on the way from Darkus. In and out. No good. Rebounded by Taylor. Sticks it back up. And that's good. Casey Taylor on the right-hand side with the basket to trim the deficit to 1. 8-7 Colonel's lead.
Tell you, Robert E. Lee looking very solid so far. I mean, just very fundamental. Maybe not doing anything spectacular, but not just doing anything, lack of a better term, dumb either.
They certainly don't look shell-shocked
Right.
from the light show or just the fact that these Colonels are the reigning and defending 1A state champions. They look like they're very comfortable in this situation. Thornhill, free throw line, dribble, spin move, quick dump off to Darius Johnson down low. Johnson lost it for a moment, put it up. First one didn't go, second one did. Count the basket for Darius Johnson. 10-7 your score now. Colonels lead with under 5 minutes to play in the Select Air first quarter.
When you have good rebounders like Darius and Demetrius, you got to get a butt to the gut.
Makes things a lot easier when you get those offensive rebounds. 3 ball on the way for the Lee men. No good. Offensive rebound control by the visitors, though. Lost it momentarily. Now the Colonels come away with it. That's Darius Johnson ahead to Demetrius. Demetrius with the jam and points. The brothers Johnson hooking up again. Darius to Demetrius this time. The long baseball pass from Darius.
Got 10 to 12.
And there's a block for Darius Johnson. Threw it away with help from Michi Malback. Here come the Colonels. Quickly up ahead to Demetrius. A layup and in. He thought about another dunk. Crowd really coming alive. Getting behind the Colonels too, Bob.
6-0 run.
14-7. Altavista doubling up Robert E. Lee. Just over 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Gunnar Cook driving, had it cut off, lost the basketball. It's Demetrius Johnson coming away with it. Bounce passes ahead to McClure. 2-on-2, fast break. McClure had his blocked away. Demetrius there for the recovery, and then he will get fouled. Fast-paced action, finally a little bit of a slowdown. The Colonels are getting the better of the fast-paced action.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think they got a little winded out of it a little bit. That was a 2-on, I don't know how many Robert E. Lee had back there, but some of the Altavista guys, it's different from being on that gridiron to being on this court in terms of the speed and the conditioning.
Oh, yeah, completely different game. The athleticism certainly pays off in both sports, but It's completely different here on the hardwood. First free throw, no good for Demetrius Johnson. It's a 14-7 Altavista Colonel lead. First quarter brought to you by Select Air. Donnie and the gang will fix any electrical or mechanical problem, including ACs, heat pumps, plumbing, and more. And they'll be at your house fast, usually within about 45 minutes to solve your problem. That's Select Air. Second free throw on the way for Demetrius Johnson. Toes the free throw stripe. This one is good. Make it a 15-7 Altavista Colonel lead. Michi Mall back in the backcourt looking for the steal against Tavian Brown. Brown gives it up to Casey Taylor. Taylor's going to take it right wing, just shovels it backwards right to Brown again. Brown trying to circle the defense. He's in the paint now. Great man-to-man defensive pressure from Altavista. Pass goes to Brown again. Three ball, no good. Rebounded by Darius Johnson.
I don't know that Casey Taylor wanted to handle as much as he did on that possession. Thornhill fires a two.
Front iron, no good. Got his own rebound. That one will go in. There's the tenacity of Juan Thornhill, and it's going to prompt a timeout from head coach Jarrett Hatcher of Robert E. Lee. We'll take the timeout, too. 3 minutes and 25 seconds remain in the first quarter. Altavista leading by 10, 17-7 on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
Lowest prices of the year. Lowest payments of the year. Great selection. That's what's going on now at Feller Chevrolet in Altavista. All prices have been reduced for this year-end sales event. No games, no prizes, no hassles, just rock-bottom prices. The car you buy at Feller Chevrolet this week will be the best deal of the year. Make sure you shop Fellers before you buy. Feller Chevrolet year-end sales event going on now in Altavista. Don't miss it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Hey, fans, if you miss a game or you just want to hear it again, check out our YouTube page brought to you by Fellers Chevrolet. You can relive all the Colonel action. Bob, quickly here as we get started from the timeout. Robert E. Lee down early 10-0, and you got to believe Coach Jarrett Hatcher not particularly pleased with that, but maybe not completely surprised. Hang on a second on your thoughts. Thornhill has got the steal, looking for the dunk. Yes, sir. Pounds it in from the right side. And the crowd, again, really getting behind the Colonels, and with good reason. 2 dunks already. Altavista out to the 19-7 lead. Another turnover. You might have to wait again. Donovan Montague is checked in the basketball game. Demetrius Johnson slows down the fast break, looking for help. Bounces it down on the right-hand block to Thornhill. Thornhill back to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson up, and the shot won't go in. Thornhill races to the rebound quickly. Altavista basketball still. Thornhill controlling right wing. Now he's double-teamed, going to get rid of it to Demetrius Johnson, middle of the court. Demetrius over to Michi, out of bounds. I don't know. Is it a moot point to talk about the timeout now?
I think it's all right. Still, a lot of coaches know that they're going to have their hands full with Altavista this year. Right. It's not just Jarrett Hatcher's nightmare. It's just his nightmare on Friday. It'll be less cams on Saturday and so forth and so on. Now, with that being said, you want to play your best.
Sure.
And I think Robert E. Lee just feels like they got to win some of these hustle plays a little bit, because if you let Altavista win the hustle plays, then it really can go from bad to worse.
Yeah, those loose balls, those 50-50 balls, Colonels are getting to more of those. Foul on the inside. Believe it's going to be Darius Johnson. It is. He just got tangled up with Tavian Brown.
I don't think you can have such a thing if you're going against Altavista has a 50-50. Those 50-50s have to become 100-0-U.
Yeah, sure. If you want a chance to win anyway, that's for sure. Substitutes checking in the ball game for the Altavista Colonels. That's number 20, Chancellor Mormon, and number 4, Mateo Malback. I tell you, Bob, you haven't seen some of these new guys yet. I think they're going to impress you. There's one of them right there. Donovan Montague almost got the steal. Recovered by number 24. That's Zalik Porter. Gunnar Cook fires up the 3. No good. Altavista controls the rebound. That's Darius Johnson. Wants to run himself. Striding to the basket. Layup and good. One-man fast break. He grabs the rebound on one end. Bob takes it all the way down to the other end. Under 2 minutes to play. Colonels lead 21-7.
Altavista looks very, very good here early.
No kidding. Rebound on the missed shot from R.E. Lee. They'll go out of bounds off of Donovan Montague. So the Blues, the Fighting Lee men will control. Perry McClure is the Fighting Blues. But in my defense, Robert E. Lee does wear the blue jersey, so.
And Mike Carlero is just as good friends with Jarrett Hatcher as he is with some of those guys.
It's a small world, right?
Vista.
Dave Haney, Matt Armstrong join us here in the press box. Our good friends from the Reach staff. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get a second. Inbound play. Gunnar Cook, right wing 3. That's no good. In and out. Rebound comes down to Casey Taylor. Lost it momentarily. Mad scrum forward in there. Johnson almost deflected this shot from number 22, Leon Johnson, but it goes in. 2 points for Johnson. And that's a Johnson from Robert E. Lee, not from Altavista. The Mateo Malback driving. Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Darius Johnson. Malback still on the floor. Darius takes the extra step. Traveling violation. Possibly the first turnover for the Altavista Colonels. Now, they threw a pass away earlier, but, boy, the turnovers have been few and far between for the Colonels, huh, Bob?
Right. Well, the other thing, too, I was getting ready to say is if you're Robert E. Lee, his Leeman will drive right here and put up two, Kyle.
Tavian Brown, bucket good. So the Lee men making one of those Bob Alvis mini runs there. 21-11 now. They trail by 10. Thornhill headed back to the scorer's table to check in. Chancellor Mormon on the dribble for the Altavista Colonels. Steps inside. Nice backdoor pass to Malback, but Malback stuck behind the defense. Mormon catches a loose ball. Shot up on the floater. Offensive foul. Casey Taylor stood in there and took the charge from Chancellor Mormon.
And that's another thing you're going to need if you're a team playing Altavista. You're going to need a little help, not only on the 50-50 possessions, but the 50-50 calls as well need to go your way.
Well, that's a good point. Altavista got the big win over Goochland earlier in the week, Bob. I'll tell you, this tonight is more substituting than they did against Goochland. And maybe that's because the back-to-back nights, Coach Cardellaro trying to keep the fresh legs for tonight and tomorrow. Lee men basketball, top of the key, it goes to Leon Johnson. Johnson, free throw line, jump shot will go in. Robert E. Lee continuing to cut into the lead. They're trailing 21-13 now. Under 40 seconds to play in the Select Air first quarter. Thornhill back in the basketball game. Has the basketball. Right wing, underhand pass to Michi Malback. Michi bounce pass, left wing to Demetrius Johnson. Tees up the three ball. No good. Mormon in there battling for the rebound. Robert E. Lee controls, though.
Looked like the hand was going to go up and the whistle was going to tweet there for a moment.
Herleek Williams back in the basketball game for Robert E. Lee. They're down to 15 seconds. Right-hand dribble, guarded tightly by Michi Malback. Back to Williams. Three ball, high arcing. It's good. 8 seconds. Colonels are going to have a chance, but they need to be in somewhat of a hurry. We're down to 5 seconds. Thornhill's still in the backcourt. Juan breaks the timeline, pulls up. Long two, in and out, no good. We've played one quarter from Altavista, and the Colonels lead. 21-16, second quarter on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
We are Physical Therapy Rehab Associates of Central Virginia, Timberlake Road, Lynchburg. Self-referral to physical therapy with or without doctor's referral. Rehab Associates physical therapists have advanced degrees in specialty orthopedic care from head to toe. Rehab Associates of Central Virginia can help take away your pain and return you to normal activity. We are Physical Therapy Rehab Associates of Central Virginia, Timberlake Road, Lynchburg. Our goal is your success.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
21-16, the Altavista Colonel lead. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Bob Alvis. Thanks so much for joining us on a post-Christmas basketball game. Well, Bob, Colonels raced out to a 21-7 lead at one point. It's 21-16 right now, so if you can do the math, you realize Robert E. Lee's in the midst of a run here.
Yeah, I don't know if that's when I started blowing hot or cold air or whatever the air was. But definitely, Robert E. Lee took advantage. If Altavista is going to, miss an opening or whatnot, then you better hit an open shot. I mean, I'm not trying to make it sound like you've got to bring, the original Dream Team in when you play Altavista.
Right.
But you can't bring the New Jersey Generals either.
That's great.
You got to give effort.
No, you're right. And Robert E. Lee, again, as we said, the effort hasn't been bad.
A for effort.
But you almost have to be perfect against these Altavista Colonels.
Got to get some breaks.
Certainly do. Michi Malback guarding Williams tightly. Williams picked up the dribble. Now he dishes it off to teammate Tavian Brown. Brown with the dribble over to number 22. That's Leon Johnson. Johnson has done some scoring in the first quarter for the Lee men. Back over to Herleek Williams. Driving, had the basketball poked away, and I think they're going to whistle Michi Malback for a foul, Bob. 7:35 remaining in the Select Air second quarter to 21-16. Colonel Lee.
I think another thing, too, is, Kyle, you don't have to win the game in the first, second, or third quarter, but you don't want to get Altavista on a big run.
That's exactly right. Steal by Juan Thornhill. Look out below. Two-handed jam from Juan. Stole it right around midcourt. Nobody between him and the basket. Thornhill's second dunk of the evening. Well, I wonder how many of those he's going to rack up on the season, huh?
Do I have to count those, too? I think there have been 3 or 4 tonight so far.
I don't know that we want to. Gunnar Cook, contested three. Side of the iron, no good. Rebound still loose. McClure trying to box out. Still volleying for the basketball. Williams comes out of there with it and scores the basket for the Robert E. Lee Fighting Lee men. Wow, good hustle there by Williams. That rebound got tipped around for a long time. He stayed with it. finally came away with points.
If we're going to do a dunk count, I need Dr. Slusher up here to borrow his hands and toes back in the day. He would go with that saying.
We're going to need a lot. You're exactly right. Zone defense, it looks like now, for Robert E. Lee.
But I'll tell you what, on the other side, that is a situation where McClure fighting for that rebound, but you wonder where some of the trees were for Altavista, too.
A good point. McClure's got an offensive rebound here. Lost it. Darius Johnson diving after it. It's going to be off Robert E. Lee. No, I know what you mean. It seemed like McClure maybe was the only one down there mixing it up, and I don't know if everybody just kind of got caught watching. Sometimes you get into fan mode even as a player, right?
And I'm not trying to knock Jake for that.
No, I'm with you. He was hustling. He's hustling after another offensive rebound, although Demetrius will come away with this one after a tip. Colonel's getting some nice second and third chances here. Thornhill with the basketball again. Overhead pass to Malbeck. Malbeck thought about a three. No look. Cross court to McClure. McClure will think about the three. He thinks he likes it. It's good. Josh McClure. Right wing converting the three-pointer. 26-18. Altavista lead.
I think I called him Jacob McClure, so
I've done it too.
Already on that.
We'll fill in the blanks there later on if you don't know who Jacob McClure is. Casey Taylor driving. Right-handed shot will go in from just in front of the basket.
I'll tell you, Kyle, I think Josh McClure might be able to capitalize on, he's going to be called the other guy for a while by some people because they know the Johnsons, they know the Twins, they know Thornhill, they know Michi.
Michi will try a long three. Side of the iron, no good. Rebound comes down to Demetrius Johnson. He was just in the right place. Shot up and good. Fouled in the act. Demetrius Johnson back to the free throw line again to try the old-fashioned three-point play. Yeah, you heard in the interview with Coach Carlero, you've got the big four. You call them the four horsemen, whatever you want to call them. Those four seniors that have been there. There is a fifth senior, Donovan Montague. And I said, is somebody going to become the fifth Beatle? Is there... Do you need a fifth guy, or can that role be shared by everybody? And he said that's an interesting question. I think we'll just have to see. Free throw, no good from Demetrius Johnson. There's Michi Malbeck on the offensive board. Lost the handle momentarily, and Robert E. Lee will come away with it. Fast break for the Lee men. Number 5, Brown. Too many steps. Turnover. Basketball back to the Colonels. 5:20 remaining in the Apple Market second quarter. It's a 28-20 Altavista lead.
Les Cam down right near the locker room doors on the left, checking this one out. We will hear from him tomorrow during the pregame as Heritage will be the opponent in night 2.
That should be a fun matchup. Two of the premier teams in the area. Of course, Heritage falling to the Bees earlier, if you heard that one. McClure down in the corner. Far corner to Michi Malbeck. Basketball kicked away into the Altavista pep band section. Colonel's going left to right from our perspective here in the second quarter. Home white jerseys. Bounce pass over to Josh McClure. McClure fires another three in and out. No good. Darius Johnson. Rebound, stick back, count the basket. Offensive boards for the Altavista Colonels. Very beneficial here, and I'm sure Coach Jared Hatcher does not like the way his team is clearing the glass on the missed shots.
Well, and that's the thing that, again, that's one of the things you don't need to give Altavista, that second chance.
Foul away from the basketball, Bob. I think it's going against Josh McClure. No, it's going against Darius Johnson.
Altavista has amassed 14 fouls here early on, really midway through quarter number 2.
30-20 is your score. Altavista on top by 10. 4 minutes and 36 seconds to play in the Select Air second quarter. Repairs, new installations too. Select Air does it all with prompt, courteous service. Layup, no good by the Lee men, but the pass is stolen away by number 5, Tavian Brown.
It's funny, I was just thinking, Altavista throughout the years, I don't know if you remember that game at Nelson a few years back with Darish Hunt and those guys where it went to overtime, and I think it was 28-28 going to overtime. It's 30-20 here in the second quarter. So Altavista really good at playing either style of ball with a lot of different chess pieces out there.
Yeah, different scoring pace with these chess pieces out there. Thornhill comes away with the steal with help from Josh McClure. Malbeck, left wing, 3, front iron, no good. Rebound loose, and it comes down to Leon Johnson, the Lee men. 2-on-1 fast break, but McClure recovers to get back and knock the ball out of bounds. Robert E. Lee basketball still, but nice hustle by Josh McClure to save the points anyhow.
Lehman will check in. Emmanuel Johnson, who's a 6'3" sophomore forward. I tell you, Coach Hatcher's got some good-looking kids out there. Yeah, for a 4-2 squad that's going to be competitive in their conference.
Certainly. Got some young guys. Basketball tipped away. Michi Malbeck's going to get the steal and a run out. Contested layup will go in. Nice play there by the senior Michi Malbeck. You get 2 more points. 32-20 now. Colonels leading by 12. Malbeck poked it away from the backside, but Brown got it back. Short jumper, no good. Thornhill with the rebound. Thornhill wants to get out and run, but slowed down a bit by the Lee men's defense. Lob pass to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck going to kick it backwards to Juan Thornhill. Thornhill going to back it out, check the defense. Looks like a 1-3-1 zone for Robert E. Lee right now with 3.5 minutes to play in the half. 32-20. Colonels up 12.
And these right here are two of the more historic programs in the state of Virginia. Robert E. Lee under Paul Hatcher, multiple state titles. I think Coach Hatcher told me, Coach Jared Hatcher told me his dad coached with Coach Cardallero in like 4 All-Star games.
Pretty incredible stuff. Malbeck, incredible from the far corner. 3 ball is good. Malbeck's on a little 5-0 run himself.
They don't let you coach those All-Star games if you just get a 10-win season. you gotta get some more.
Yeah, those VHSL All-Star coaching spots are reserved for the coaches who win the state championships, or at least get in the state championship games anyway. Lee men have picked up the dribble, and they're in trouble. High-pressure defense from the Colonels right now. Layup in and out, no good. There's Josh McClure on the rebound. Boy, McClure's been active on the glass. He hasn't gotten to all the rebounds, but he's been involved in a lot of those scrums going after him. Malbeck going to try another 3. Same side, no good. Donovan Montague, rebound, sticks it up and in, and that brings a nice fist pump from Coach Cardallero. That brings a timeout from visiting Coach Jared Hatcher. We'll take the timeout, too. It's a 17-point lead for the Colonels over Robert E. Lee. 2.5 to play in the half on 105.5 KD Country.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Littles Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Littles Heating and Cooling.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
High school sports fans, have you joined our REACH staff yet? REACHT. We ask you the questions about the thing that matter the most to you, like your high school sports and your music and all that. Bob will get to REACH staff in a second here. Jared Hatcher with another timeout. Team trailing 17. Not a lot of answers in that timeout huddle.
I don't even know what the questions were, to be honest with you. I mean, at this point, you just can't let Altavista get on runs. That's one of the main things, I think. They're good enough to where they're going to get their points, but you cannot allow a 6-0, 8-0 run tops.
Yeah. Foul on the court there is going to go against Mateo Malbeck, his first. Well, I think it gets...
this is 11.
Yeah. We're talking about the family connections. It's like your dad used to say, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. So there's no magic pill to come back from a 17-point deficit. A 5-second count. Robert E. Lee can't get the basketball in bounds. That won't help their comeback efforts.
We don't talk as much about circus animals at the Alvis family dinner table anymore, but I'm sure Dad would still subscribe to that theory.
On the court right now for the Colonels, number 4, Mateo Malbeck. Number 30, Josh McClure. Number 5, Demetrius Johnson. Number 20, Chancellor Mormon. And number 3, Donovan Montague. Montague thought about a 3. Now chest pass over to McClure. Zone defense again from Robert E. Lee. Couple ball fakes from McClure. Now opposite corner to Mormon. Mormon, long cross-court pass to McClure. McClure, 3. Front iron, high rebound, no good. Demetrius Johnson is there. Lost the basketball. It's going the other way to Robert E. Lee. It's a 37-20 Colonel lead. 1:50 to play in the Select Air second quarter.
If I'm R.E. Lee, my number is 12. That's where I want it by intermission.
Yeah,
At
I like
least
that.
the Baker's dozen.
Sure. Yeah, I think you make a great point there. If you can get the game to a more manageable margin, then you feel like you got a better chance in the second half. Full court man-to-man pressure looks like it's on the way from Altavista.
Gunnar Cook, Leon Johnson re-entered for Robert E. Lee. They join Herleek Williams, Casey Taylor, and Leon Johnson.
Robert E. Lee gets it in. They want to hurry. They get it over to number 14. That's Herleek Williams now to Johnson. Johnson fouled in his efforts to get a shot up. He'll go to the free throw line and shoot a pair.
Well, and Coach Hatcher, I believe he said in the interview, if not he said it to me, but off the air, but really the turning point in their season last year, he said, was this Altavista game. Because it really got their team, kind of believing it, brought them a little bit more together, and Robert E. Lee had a very successful season last year.
Thornhill back in the basketball game. He joins Mormon, Montague, Demetrius Johnson, and Mateo Malbeck. We're used to having troubles with the Johnson brothers, but now you've got multiple Malbecks that you have to identify. Free throw no good. Rebound comes down to Juan Thornhill. Lee men can't cash in from the charity stripe. Montague got behind the defense, but the pass was too hot to hold. Turnover. Malbeck tried to get it back, but he commits a foul in the process.
Montague looks like a taller version of Juan Thornhill with a little bit more hair.
Yeah, that's
to be honest with you.
That's a great description, really. I mean, both of them are well put together kids, got a nice frame, and you're right, Montague about 6'5". Hair gives him another inch. And I'll tell you, Bob, he's somebody that I think is going to surprise you. You didn't see him Monday. And he is a senior, but first year playing basketball for the Altavista Colonels.
And we've seen those guys float around the area before. Chris Cook over at Heritage, who will play tomorrow. He didn't play until his senior year. Altavista's had it happen a time or two as well. So
yeah. Free throw, no good. Robert E. Lee continues to be cold from the charity stripe. Altavista can't control the rebound, though.
But I'll tell you what, Mike Carlero is not putting people on the team just because you have done very well in the first 3 years of high school.
Right.
You've got to be able to contribute to this team, and he's got to see something in you that can prove that.
That's exactly right. Montague has just that. Nice job on the defense, but Robert E. Lee does just get the basketball in bounds, beating the 5-second count. Taylor, running shot won't go in. This rebound is loose. Thornhill was battling for it. Knocked out of bounds by Gunnar Cook of Robert E. Lee.
In this first half of play.
Yeah, 37-20.
20.
Wow, great minds think alike. Or was it mediocre?
Mediocre.
What did you say earlier?
Mediocre minds think alike.
That's right. Thornhill with the basketball. Going to walk it into the front court. 1:12 now remaining in the first half.
You see some other Altavista old-timers around here during the Christmas time. And I'll tell you, that guy sitting on the front row down there, Kyle, he could play a time or two. Kenny Hunt.
No kidding. We'll talk about him and more later on. Mormon, nice feed to Demetrius Johnson. Taylor hit the deck for Robert E. Lee, and Demetrius Johnson gets the basket. Boy, he's really building up a point total tonight, 39-20. Colonels up 19. We're under a minute to play in the half. Steal by Juan Thornhill. Look out. Got a clear lane again. Right-handed jam for two. Juan's third dunk of the evening.
Thought Juan was going to fix the net for him, too,
wow,
as the net kind of got tangled up there. 3 dunks by Juan, 1 by Demetrius, I believe.
And most of them are on the run-outs after the steal there by Thornhill. One of them was sort of contested. That one he just had a clear lane. Really could have done whatever he wanted to. Malbeck with the steal. He takes it away from Robert E. Lee. Lost on the dribble, though. Lee men get it back.
Nope. Whistle blew.
Yep.
It's out of bounds.
Basketball out of bounds off Robert E. Lee. So it stays with Michi Malbeck. Yeah, there's a couple former Colonels on that front row that could put together a team that could probably just run out here after this game and take on the current guys. Of course, the current guys would be tired. They'd already have played one game. But you got, I see R.L. Woodruff down there. I see Delvin Woodruff down there. Looks like Devin McCray on the front row as well, along with the aforementioned Kenny Hunt Jr. So put together an alumni team, guys.
Probably somebody else in this gymnasium.
Oh, I'm sure. Kickball there against Robert E. Lee. It was good defense from Hurleek Williams, but can't use the feet to play defense.
And I'll be honest with you. You know, a lot of people talked about when Dream Team played, if they played these last set of U.S. Olympians, how good would it be? I think Kenny probably still has that competitive edge to where it could make up for whatever he's lost in the tank, and it hadn't been that long.
Well, he's still playing pro ball for the Titans, and here comes a steal from Darkus. Darkus layup. Oh, can't go in. Wow, with 5 seconds left. Malbeck has a chance. Clock winding down. 1 second. Layup is no good. I don't think the tip-in was good either. It wasn't. We'll go to halftime. 41-20. Colonels lead by 21 over Robert E. Lee. Subway halftime show on the way when you come back. 105.5 KD Country.
We're back at Bug Motor Company, 3 miles south of the airport in Lynchburg, and we're talking with James Duranzo, the manager of Bug Motors.
Thanks, David. This is James, and I wanted to tell you guys about an awesome program that we just started. It's our first-time buyer program. You're guaranteed as long as you can prove your income and that you can afford the payment, we can get you in a car as low as 10% down here at Bug Motors, and we are the Super Truck Center with over 40 trucks to choose from.
Don't wait too long. Come on down to Bug Motors and get a deal today.
Have you looked at your business banking fees lately? I'm Sean Stone with First National Bank, and we have the best business accounts which offer serious savings for your company. We have a full menu of business products from checking accounts and remote deposit capture to online banking. And we have a local merchant card representative who will customize services just for your business. So let First National Bank prepare an analysis of your current activity and show how we will reduce your banking fees. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Is there a painting project on your to-do list? English's Home Center has added an additional line of paints. English's features Pratt & Lambert Lifetime Warranty Red Seal exterior paints. Choose from hundreds of stunning, beautiful designer colors. Pratt & Lambert interior or exterior paints. Value price to save you money. Pratt & Lambert paints. Never compromise.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista with the lead over Robert E. Lee, 41-20 at intermission. Bob Alvis, Kyle Haney alongside. It is the Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational, and it is an annual event now here, named for a guy who was just really all about the Altavista community. Mr. Cocke was a great man. I remember meeting him my first time down here when I started with WKD. I was doing football sidelines with when Dave and Mark were doing the games, and I met him and Robert Duff that first night. And Jeff Cocke would always wear shorts, and we would joke. And I remember the first time he didn't wear shorts. I'm like, "Where are your shorts?" He's like, "Wife wouldn't let me out of the house tonight with them on." So he was a real good guy. Would carry on with you, and really just gave a lot to this high school. He always did the clock as well, so a man missed by many.
Yeah, a big-time Colonel supporter, a big-time high school sports supporter. I mean, he was a fan of everybody, and he was one of those guys when he got in the postseason, if Altavista wasn't in it, he'd go to your Russ Bergs and your William Campbells and all those other places. He's a big sports fan, big involved in the Altavista Volunteer Fire Department as well, and you're right, missed by a lot of folks. And tomorrow on the Subway pregame show, I'm going to chat with Coach Mike Carolero a little bit, talk about Jeff and the Christmas tournament as a whole, because it really has developed into a nice little tradition here, Bob, and we can transition into that some if you want. I want to say this is the 10th season, if I'm not mistaken, of the Christmas tournament here at Altavista. Maybe the 11th. I think, again, I'm going to ask Coach Carolero for a few more details, but remember the game we always talk about when Washington and Lee came to town, and it was the aforementioned Kenny Hunt. Yeah. Kenny Hunt Jr., that is.
Right. Kenny was living at the free throw line that night.
Yeah,
I want to say made 28.
That sounds right.
Then you have obviously the game against Castlewood that year, coached by Aaron Williams, where Castlewood lost in like the last few minutes of the game. Kyle Andrews, if I'm not mistaken, hit a big shot in that one. We've seen Stan River down here with Chris Carr back in those days. We saw Andrew Rousey as a freshman, and now he's first team All-Big South down there at UNC Asheville. And this is Jared Hatcher's second year of coming down to this event, has a participant. You know, it's really a time, like, we'll get to see some of the older school officials. I know Booker and those guys have done some of these games. It's really kind of like a reunion, so to speak. And you get to see a lot of old friends, and you make some new friends. I mean, I think that even goes for us. I mean, Coach Hatcher and I texted throughout the week to set up the interview and just had some good chat alongside. And I'll tell you, spin off the Christmas tournament for just a minute, but I remember when I was a senior at Jefferson Forest High School, the Cavaliers played Liberty on a Friday night, and Liberty was number 1 in the state. Saturday night, they had to play the Robert E. Lee, who was number 2 in the state, and I actually found some pictures from that game that I was going to bring down to Coach Hatcher tomorrow. Jason Rogers was on that team for Robert E. Lee. He later went on to UVA. Now, Coach Hatcher told me he's living in Las Vegas. Kevin Madden played basketball at Robert E. Lee. Of course, he went to North Carolina, coached on that Riverhead squad that Altavista beat in the state finals a few years back with John Corbett. So, you know, really a lot of great basketball up in the Robert E. Lee Stanton area.
Yeah, it really is a great area for hoops. You can say the same thing about Lynchburg. Altavista obviously has carved out their place in tradition, but thought you made a great point. I mean, it's a nice way to see some old folks, some old players, some old coaches, fans, and you get the new blood in there as well. You get to watch the current crop of people, and the current crop, well, they look pretty good so far. They're up 41-20. Let's step aside for another timeout on the Subway halftime show. Tell you a little bit about the Subway app where you can order online. We'll tell you about our Reached app where you can get some free stuff, and we'll talk some more hoops as well. Colonels lead 41-20 over Robert E. Lee on 105.5 KD Country.
Our thanks to these members of the KD Country Sports Club.
El Cerrito and Altavista. Throw on a sombrero. Shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only at El Cerrito.
Robertson Auto Sales, Lynchburg. Dealers with a passion for great quality pre-owned vehicles. We love cars and trucks, and it shows in our inventory.
Aubrey Rosser, attorney at law, going above and beyond the courtroom. Your choice for any and all legal advice. Serving Altavista, Lynchburg, and Roanoke areas.
One Stop Mart, Main Street, Altavista, where the gas is cheap, beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
Mad Biddy's Antiques, 105 Wood Lane, just off of Main Street. Come find what you didn't know you were looking for.
Dairy Free, serving ice cream, yogurt, fries, hamburger, hot dogs, and fresh chili since 1961 from their Main Street location.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family and see your friends at Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show continues here. Colonels lead 41-20 over Robert E. Lee. And speaking of Subway, of course, you got your chance to win with Subway later on, but you also got a chance for a free Subway sandwich if you join the Reached app, R-E-A-C-H-T. Download it from your app store. Join our KD Country group, and you get a chance. Actually, you get a free sub just for signing up, and then there's a chance to win some more stuff later on. We ask those sports questions, music questions, current events. It's all there with the Reached app, and like Bob said earlier, pretty painless, pretty fun. Make sure you like KD Country's Facebook page if you haven't done that yet, because that's how you can win with Subway later on. Foot-long meal deal courtesy of Subway's in Altavista. And our buddy Matt was telling me that he got a great picture with Juan Thornhill standing next to the Subway mascot, you know, the big Subway sandwich. There's a person in the suit,
Right. I thought
obviously.
Matt was going to say he got a picture with Juan Thornhill, which I would say might be worth something. And one
Very
day,
true.
I've got some halftime numbers
Let's
if
do
you're
it.
ready.
I'm very ready,
right.
although I think the Robert E. Lee fans and Coach Paul Hatch are listening at home online at kdcountry.com.
No, he's on the TuneIn app.
He's on the
Yep,
TuneIn
he's on the
app?
TuneIn
Well, that's
app.
great, too. Still brought to you by your All-State agent, Chris Owen in Lynchburg. And that's a great ability to be able to listen around the world.
Well, to quote Dave Haney in that spot that we air, I'm afraid I have some bad news on the one quarter. Second quarter was 20-4, Altavista. Let's go with Robert E. Lee first with their scoring. Corey Darkus has 3. Herleek Williams has 5. Leon Johnson has 4. Casey Taylor has 4. Zalik Porter with 2. And Tavian Brown with 2. For Altavista, Demetrius Johnson pacing the Colonels with 13. Juan Thornhill has 10. Darius Johnson has 8. Michi Malback has 5. And Josh McClure has 3. You know, you were talking about it, the Beatles earlier. I was thinking, how would it be if there was John, George, Ringo, Paul, and then Josh?
And then Josh,
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah. If the music was the same, I don't think it would matter.
Right.
But, no, you know, we talk about that big four for the Colonels, Michi Malback, Juan Thornhill, and then Demetrius and Darius Johnson. I think Coach Cardellaro and probably anybody that knows basketball knows that, hey, that's where the bulk of our points are going to come from, whether it's 75%, maybe it's closer to 90%, I don't know. My question to you, Mr. Alvis, is that a problem if it's 90% coming from 4 guys? I mean, you're talking about 4 guys.
Yeah. For the season or for a game?
I was thinking more for the season.
No, I don't think that's a big deal, to be honest with you. As
Yeah.
long as a 5th guy can be found each game to
Sure.
maybe either chip in an important 2 or throw in about 8. And I think that 5th guy is going to be important, Kyle. I'm going to listen to you a lot this year, and I believe I'm going to hear a 5th guy a lot on certain nights to where, who is it?
Yeah,
You know?
well, and that's what I was going to say. Do you think it's going to be the same 5th guy, or do
No.
you think it's going to be sort of a rotation kind of a thing?
Well, I think the starting 5 will probably stay the same, but
Sure.
I think that 5th guy of who's it going to be that night might rotate. Now, there might be nights where the Big Four, you know, dwarf that 5th guy.
Right,
But I think
right.
that 5th guy is always going to be out there and, you know, really important because you can't play with 4. I
Right.
mean, you can if you get everybody else fouled out.
Right, yeah,
But
yeah.
I think that 5th guy...
The Lakers proved that last year. Sorry.
I think that 5th guy is really going to be a key cog. And Coach Sherrod Hatcher is going to have another taste of Altavista tomorrow night. It's not going to be at Subway, although he might if he gets here early enough. But Scott Jester, the former Altavista coach, who his team picked up a W in Game 1 against the Heritage Pioneers, as he's the coach of the Brookville Bees, 62-52.
Yeah, so Robert E. Lee taking on Brookville tomorrow. Coach Jarrett Hatcher from R.E. Lee. He won't be able to completely get rid of the Colonels because alumni and Scott Jester, you're right. And, boy, go on with your point because I'll remember mine.
The R.E. Lee fans will still be able to listen to that game on the TuneIn app or at kdcountry.com. Or if they're driving into town, they can pick up the pregame maybe on 105.5.
That's right. And if you are driving into town, do encourage you to stop by Subways of Altavista. They're a big supporter of ours. And customer service, second to none. Third quarter underway here at Altavista. Colonels lead by 21. They'll start the half with possession of the basketball. Looks like a man-to-man defense again for R.E. Lee. Thornhill passes off to Darius Johnson. Now over to Brother Demetrius. Back to Juan. Good ball movement already. Demetrius, pull-up jumper from 16. No good. Rebound comes down to Casey Taylor and the Lee men. Robert E. Lee basketball. Boy, Thornhill trying to get in there for the pickpocket, and they're finally going to whistle Juan for a foul.
Not a good foul.
No, it wasn't. It was in the back court. I mean, Juan probably got away with a foul right before that, and then he tried to go ahead again and put his hand in the cookie jar, as you would say. But fool me once, kind of a thing.
Well, and I'll say this, though. If you're Robert E. Lee or any other team that's going to beat Altavista, you're going to have to get some mistakes from Altavista on certain nights as well. And, things like that, if that happens 2 or 3 times, you're in business. 3 right there.
Gunnar Cook, 3, left wing. Net got stuck. Michi Malback takes care of it. Nice job. Gunnar Cook came off the double screen up top. Good catch. And then the shot obviously went in. Make it a 41-23 Altavista Colonel lead. Early stages of the Select Air third quarter. Thornhill just across the timeline. Good man-to-man defense from Tavian Brown. Juan's going to pick up the dribble and find some teammates. Darius Johnson now looking for help.
If your name is Gunner, you got to have an outside shot.
I would think so. Darius Johnson inside. Shot won't go, but he's fouled. And he'll head to the free throw line. Yeah, I said earlier about number 3, Jesse Calloway from Heritage. If your number is 3 in basketball, you should be able to shoot the 3. You're right about Gunner. Got to be able to pull the trigger. And Gunnar Cook certainly does that.
I talked to Coach Cam afterwards, and you'll hear a little bit more of my interview with Coach Cam tomorrow night on the Subway pregame show. They call him JC, and right tonight you could call him Mr. 3 because he kept Heritage in it with a few trifectas as Darius sinks the first. It's a 19-point game.
Yeah, Colonels were 7 of 14 in the first game against Goochland from the free throw line. That's 50% exactly. I don't think Coach Carlero is in love with being 50% from the line, but I think he'll take it, particularly in the first game. That one good, so both of them converted by Darius Johnson. Ball tapped away momentarily. Colonels will... Well, they're still on defense. I'm sorry, Robert E. Lee basketball.
Yeah, 8 of 17 were with Altavista, so just a shade under 50. But if I'm going to be devil's advocate, that's the one place that you can control.
Oh, you're right. I was looking at somebody. I was looking at the other team,
right.
50%. Bob Alvis, nice job on the correction there. That's what teammates do. They pick each other up. R.E. Lee basketball, they're looking to pick some points up. Brown dishes, corner to Hurleek Williams. Williams will try a high arcing 3. No good. Rebound still loose. Now it's controlled by number 2, Juan Thornhill for the Colonels.
Taylor.
Yeah, just tried to reach in behind Juan. He didn't like the call.
I know what he tried to do. Tried to get the jump. I think he was trying to get that jump ball. Didn't mean to step on you there, but
no.
I think that's what Casey was trying to do.
That's what teammates do.
Step on each other and then help them up.
Yeah, right. Push you to the ground and then help you up. As long as you push him from behind, I don't know it's you, then it'll be okay. Low pass gets into Darius Johnson. Johnson, right-hand post, shot up, rattled around, and finally went down. Nice job by Darius Johnson. Good pass from Brother Demetrius. Again, he really just rolled it along the court. 45-23, Colonels lead back up to 22. Lee basketball, Brown driving, high arcing, layup won't go. This rebound is loose. Taylor comes down with it. His shot won't go in, and Thornhill comes out of there with it. Trying to run the fast break. Ball got kicked away. Juan got it back, and then a two-handed jam. Good Lord. Fourth dunk on the evening. And even young Kenny Hunt got out of his seat for that on the front row. Juan in traffic, just banging it down with 2 hands. Wow, Juan lost it momentarily and got it back, and then with reckless abandon throwing it down. Well, you see why he's headed to UVA on a football scholarship. This man is... What else can we say about Juan Thornhill, Bob?
Yeah, I don't know how much help the basketball team in Charlottesville really needs right now, but the football team is going to get help with some hops and some hits.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards. Nelson Dews checking in the basketball game. His first action of the game. Colonels lead 47-23. 5:45 remaining in the Select Air third quarter. Robert E. Lee basketball. Nelson Dews guarding the basketball. That's Leon Johnson. Johnson going to dish it away. Good defense from Nelson. Now it's Tavian Brown. Brown over to Taylor. Back to Tavian Brown. Robert E. Lee having to stick to the outside on the perimeter. Colonel's defense won't allow him much on the inside. Gunnar Cook. Chest pass over to Darkus. Darkus looking inside with the dribble. Go ahead,
I think
Bob.
we talk about the Altavista offense, probably a lot well-deserved, but the defense only gave up 4 points in that second quarter. They're still playing defense.
They really are. Pretty stifling. That's Brown with the shot off the window and in. Colonels give up some points there. 47-25, lead back to 22. Good job by Lee to stay patient that possession, though, Bob. They really worked it around the perimeter, finally found an opening. Thornhill, left-hand dribble, free throw line. Bounces over left wing to Michi Malbeck. Colonels are going right to left from our perspective this quarter. Thornhill, far sideline.
Rewind it back to the second quarter. Altavista's on a 21-5 run right now.
Thornhill, floater off the window, won't go in. There's Taylor for the rebound. Lost it momentarily, but Robert E. Lee does control. Tavian Brown will bring it into the front court.
That is just tough to combat when you're getting 5 points and the other team scoring 21. Foul's going to be against Michi.
Michi a little too close there, and he thought maybe Tavian Brown pushed off a bit. Donovan Montague headed back into the basketball game. He will join Juan Thornhill, Demetrius Johnson, Michi Malbeck, and Nelson Dews.
By the way, I voted in the question on the reached out.
What was the question on the reached out, Bob?
About the favorite team, favorite area team.
Favorite area team. There were some good choices on there. And who'd you pick? Just out of curiosity.
I can't disclose that.
I like that.
Privacy law.
I like that. Three-pointer from Gunnar Cook. Long one is good. NBA range 3. Count that one for Gunnar Cook. Brings the Lee men inside a little bit closer, cutting the deficit down. 47-28. Altavista leads. Colonel basketball in the front court. Juan chest pass cross court to Malbeck. Malbeck driving middle of the court. Bounce passes over to Nelson Dews. Dews, too many steps. He'll get called for the traveling violation. Turnover. Lee basketball with 3:58 remaining here in the Select Air third quarter. Call Select Air today for any sort of electrical or mechanical service. 332-2600. That's 332-2600. Your choices on the reached out question for favorite area team: Altavista, Heritage, Brookville, Gretna, William Campbell, JF, Rustburg, Chatham. Probably an other choice on there as well if you're an EC Glass fan. Amherst maybe, Liberty.
I think I don't like basketball as an option as well.
Oh, darn it. Who's doing that? Well, why are you listening to the broadcast for doing that? No, don't turn away. We got great real country music coming after us. Lee men, mad scramble. Hey, have the basketball. They're working hard to find some space. Gunnar Cook, right-hand dribble. Throws it over the top and out of bounds. Turnover there. Lee men looked a little unorganized there on offense, Bob.
Tell you what, there are some men and women on that front row, though, that look like they can stroke it from the outside. So I think that could have been shot even had it gone. But Robert E. Lee, Altavista really, I think, is going to be good this year at forcing you to do things you don't want to do.
Yeah, they're going to get you out of your A game, out of your comfort zone real quick, I have a feeling, with that great defense. Malbeck going to use a screen from Montague. Now he passes to Nelson Dews. Dews thought about the three-pointer from the right-hand wing and decides to get it back to Malbeck. Michi Malbeck running the point guard spot, just a step in front of half court. Going to initiate the offense. Pass over to Montague. Montague driving, leaves it off for Demetrius Johnson. Johnson shot, good. Nice feed from Donovan Montague, and then a good finish from Demetrius Johnson. 49-28, Colonels lead. 2:45 remaining in the Select Air third quarter. Gunnar Cook off balance, too. It was a long one as well. No good. Montague on the glass there. Rebound for the Colonels.
On that previous possession, Montague is 6'5". Comes down the lane and makes a no-look pass. 6'5" guys are not supposed to do that.
No kidding.
In high school basketball.
In their first year of high school basketball.
Juan was very close.
Juan was. It looked like his heels were actually over the line. But didn't have them on the ground. Good dribbling move there by Juan on the handles. Montague tries the three. No good. Crowd's getting to see some really fun basketball here tonight. Colonels have put on a show at times. Gunnar Cook going to try and bring it across the timeline. He does. Double-teamed momentarily. Now gets rid of it. Teammate is Leon Johnson. Johnson lost it. Now over to Corey Darkus. Darkus looking for some room inside. He'll travel away from the basket. Chest pass over to Gunnar Cook. Cook, right-handed three. No good. Didn't draw any iron. Rebound comes into the hands of Nelson Dews for the Altavista Colonels. Under 2 minutes to play in the quarter.
Another thing is you're going to have to expend a lot of energy on defense against Altavista this season.
That's right. Backdoor cut from Montague. Couldn't get it to go. It's a nice look from Thornhill to get it to him. Rebound is loose. Comes down to the Lee men.
And my point on that is I wonder if Gunnar Cook was just a little tired on that last shot.
Very possible. Blocking foul on Juan Thornhill. Hurleek Williams going to go to the free throw line. His shot wouldn't go in. Crowd doesn't like that one here at Altavista. Thornhill thought he had his feet set in position. He'll pick himself up, dust himself off. Hurleek Williams to the free throw line. Back to your point, you certainly make a great point, Bob. I mean, Altavista works you so hard on both ends. And teams that maybe think they're in shape find out otherwise when they get done playing the Altavista Colonels, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. I think you can be in great shape, but there's still going to be problems against the Altavista Colonels because you can run all you want to, but having to play defense like that for as long as you're going to have to play it against Altavista in practice, I just think is unreasonable.
And like you've said, the Colonels hit you from some odd angles, some things you're not ready for. Free throw is good. 49-29. Altavista with a 20-point advantage over Robert E. Lee. 92 seconds to play in the quarter. Go ahead, Mr. Valdes.
Yes, I have something else here that I think is going to help teams that are on the losing end against Altavista. If you're going to scout Team XYZ playing Altavista, Team XYZ might not look good that night, but they're better, I think, than what they are because Altavista just has you, like I said, taking you out of that comfort zone so bad.
No, you're right. Altavista can make a good team look kind of average really quick. Bounce pass from Thornhill to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson fouled. Shot got to the rim but would not go in. Demetrius going to go back to the free throw line. He's been there a bunch in this one so far tonight. 1:11 left to play in the Select Air third quarter. It's a 49-29 Colonel advantage.
I mean, it's very similar to Fool's Gold. Like, if I go out and make one shot and I think I can make a second one, I find out about 8 shots later that's still not true. So I think that's the case. You're going to get a scouting report, and in a way it's going to kind of be a dummy report because I think Robert E. Lee is a lot better than what they're – I don't even think they're playing bad, truthfully. I just think Altavista's playing really well, and it's making Robert E. Lee look average.
Yeah, teams can be in their fifth gear, but they might look like they're in their first or their second gear compared to the Altavista Colonels. Second free throw goes down. So count both of them for Demetrius Johnson, 51-29. He'll check out. On the court right now, you have Chancellor Mormon, Daquan Poindexter, Donovan Montague, Mateo Malbeck, and Darius Johnson for the Altavista Colonels. Coach Cardellaro up, encouraging his team to play some hard defense. Lee sticking it inside there. That was Zalik Porter. May have taken the extra step. Shot didn't go in anyway. Mateo Malbeck with the board.
Less than a minute.
He'll get it back, bring it up the court, behind the back dribble, crossover, over to Chancellor Mormon. Far sideline. Mormon's going to bring it to the middle of the court now, over to Daquan Poindexter. Poindexter driving, cut off, lost the basketball. Malbeck's going to have to dive after it, and in the process, he is fouled by Zalik Porter.
Robert E. Lee had an outstanding first quarter, scoring 16 points. And they are in danger right now if they can't get another bucket in this next 36.8 seconds. Going 2 straight quarters in single digits.
51-29 is our score right now from Altavista High School. It's the Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational. The old Christmas tournament here from Altavista High School. So glad that you could join us on 105.5 KD Country or perhaps with the TuneIn app. We got some more shout-outs to do as well. A lot of fine folks listening out there, Bob. We'll get to that at the start of the fourth quarter here. Mormon with the basketball. Left wing. Fakes the pass inside now. Cross court. They get it to Donovan Montague in the corner. They throw it up top to Mateo Malbeck. Clock showing 8 seconds. Colonel's going to have to hurry. Poindexter, chest pass to Mormon. Mormon fires a 3. Iron, no good. Tip in goes down. Don't even know who got their hands on it. There's the buzzer. Colonels, they'll head into the fourth quarter with a big lead. 53-29. Fourth quarter on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905. Personal, memorable memorial moments, celebrating life and more. Pre-arrangements with confidence, trust and care from our family to yours. Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
One more quarter of basketball to play here from Altavista High School. 53-29, Colonel's in front. Bob, I said we had some folks listening. Some people you know and love. Ty Gafford's out there in California tuned in. He says to tell you hello, out there celebrating Christmas with some family. And
winner of the Mike London lookalike contest.
Oh, yeah, every year he wins the Mike London lookalike. And he's got the Cavalier gear to wear, too, with it. Oscar Briggs is down there in sunny Surfside Beach, South Carolina, tuning into us, I'm sure.
Ty Gafford.
Some more people as well.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Ty Gafford, by the way, was a very good coach in his day.
Very good player, too.
Yes, at Appomattox. And you're trying to stump me, I can tell.
No.
But, when Ty Gafford left Heritage, came to Altavista, I think Ty Gafford is the smartest man in the world because he's not having to pay money for new colors. He's just switching, and he likes UVA on top of it. So
yeah.
I talked to Robert Duff, Subway, earlier on, and I told him he's the winner of the Jared Hatcher lookalike contest, or did Jared Hatcher win the Robert Duff lookalike contest? Those
Hard
two
to
men
tell.
resemble each other a little bit.
We're gonna start that next year. Robert E. Lee basketball. I think of a few more people we got to say hello to as this night goes on. A lot of folks in the gym though taking on the basketball game tonight.
Darius got that last bucket, by the way. I checked with Ryan Mitchell.
Wow.
And Darius was credited with that last bucket.
The technology at your fingertips allows us to find out who scored the last
Only
basket.
a 13-9 quarter in the third, though. So not really, or 12-9, pardon me. So not really a great quarter, but, the way I look at it, I want to win quarters.
Sure. Yeah, if you don't lose any quarters, you can't lose the game. Left-hand layup won't go in from Michi Maul back. Colonel's got the basketball back on a 5-second violation. Leeman with it now. Cook driving. Shot won't go in, and he'll go to the free throw line. Took some contact there as he put that one up. 7:20 remaining in the basketball game. It's a 53-29 Altavista lead. That foul will go against Demetrius Johnson. Fourth one on the team. First one on Demetrius. That's pretty good for your big man to only pick up his first foul this late in the game.
True, but, it's not like he's the only big man. So he's also, I think you get helped out in that case to where you're not the only aggressor.
Maybe right. Gunnar Cook, first free throw went in. Second one would not. Thornhill tracks down the board. 7:15 remaining in the ball game. Colonel basketball. McClure striding to the basket. Left side. Shot won't go in. Basketball goes out of bounds. Referee had to dodge it. Fan had to dodge it. It's going to be fighting Leeman ball, though. They trail by 23.
Almost struck Greg Howard. I joked with him earlier. I'm like, if you went to my hairstyle, you could save yourself a good 45 minutes because Greg's got it slicked back tonight. He says he's not willing to let it go yet.
Robert E. Lee basketball. Gunnar Cook catches. Extra step there as he was making his move towards the basket. Turnover. 6:58 left to play in the Select Air fourth quarter. Colonel's 23-point lead.
I think if you're Robert E. Lee, one thing you really want right here is just somewhat of a productive quarter because you got another game tomorrow night. And you don't want any bad vibes going from quarter four to really what is quarter five against Brookville.
Yeah, you don't really want this to carry over to tomorrow night later on in the season. Like you said, though, they haven't really played awful. It's just Altavista has really taken it to them like the Colonels tend to do against people. Lob pass inside of Demetrius Johnson. Spin move. Lost it momentarily. Regains it. Sticks it up and in. 2 points from Demetrius Johnson. He's so good about that. He'll get the ball poked away, Bob. It just manages to corral it and then stick it right back up to the basket.
It's almost like a pass to yourself. I think it actually helps Demetrius sometimes to lose it because he's so good at finding it.
Yep. Long three from Corey Darkus. Good.
I'll tell you what, I really like Robert E. Lee as a team. I think they play good team ball together, and I think they're going to have more go on the left side than on the right.
I think you're right. The left side's the win column. They're going to be there a lot more. Nice drive to the bucket on the baseline by Demetrius Johnson. Boy, Demetrius continues to put on a show here. Good move that time. Taylor driving. That shot won't go in. Darius Johnson controls the rebound. Not many guys around the glass that time for Robert E. Lee. Michi Malback, almost said Mateo, into the front court for the Colonels. Crossover dribble, looking to drive to the basket. Nice bounce pass, taken away, though. Here comes Lee the other way. Zalik Porter tried for the jam. He didn't get it. Oh, and they're going to whistle Josh McClure with a foul. Nobody can believe it on the Altavista side. Yeah, Zalik Porter's going to go to the free throw line. They said he got him on the leg.
I don't think McClure got him. I'm glad that Zalik Porter's okay, though, because
yeah, he hit the deck hard.
He took a hard fall, but landed on the cushion, it looked like.
Yeah.
So, luckily not, hitting the old funny bone or really hitting a bone. If you're going to land where there's normally the most weight.
Zalik Porter went up with the left hand looking for the dunk. He fell short, just kind of got stuffed by the rim there, and a lot of times when that happens, the fall afterward is awkward. Misses the first free throw, second one on the way. That's in and out, no good, rebounded by Demetrius Johnson.
And in a way, I almost think that was an inadvertent whistle. I mean, the whistle blew, but I kind of think he almost got stuck.
Thornhill layup wouldn't go in. Rebound comes down to the Fighting Lee-men. That's Casey Taylor again. Taylor's grabbed a lot of boards. No, you're right. That whistle came kind of late as he hit the deck. I don't know. It may have been inadvertent. Nice move inside by Tavian Brown on the drive. Up and under layup goes down. 57-35. Colonel still with a 22-point lead. Foul away from the basket. It's going to be a double foul. Michi Malbeck and number 10, Corey Darkus involved. In a little post-Christmas pleasantries, I have a feeling they weren't asking the other, what games did you get for your Xbox?
McClure getting into it a little bit with Porter, too.
Well, McClure's coming to the bench. So is Michi Malbeck. Subs are in the basketball game for both teams.
This is where Altavista is going to really have to keep some focus throughout.
Yeah, you got to be careful for the Altavista Colonels. You build up the big leads. The other team is obviously not happy about losing. 30-second timeout by Mike Cardellaro. Going to try and get his team organized and composed. We'll do the same thing here on the airwaves. Step aside for 30 seconds. Colonels lead by 22, just under 5 to play in the ball game on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
Lowest prices of the year. Lowest payments of the year. Great selection. That's what's going on now at Feller Chevrolet in Altavista. All prices have been reduced for this year-end sales event. No games, no prizes, no hassles, just rock-bottom prices. The car you buy at Feller Chevrolet this week will be the best deal of the year. Make sure you shop Fellers before you buy. Feller Chevrolet year-end sales event going on now in Altavista. Don't miss it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels lead 57-35. Altavista High School is the site. Just under 5 minutes left to play in the basketball game. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Bob Alvis. Little give and go there between Montague and Thornhill doesn't go right. Robert E. Lee basketball after the turnover. Darkus throws up a wild one. No good. Things getting a little out of hand here. Here comes Donovan Montague the other way. Layup won't go in. Basketball knocked away. I think it's going to stay to Altavista. Somebody came out of a shoe.
It was Tavian Brown on the other side that threw up the shot. Couldn't get it to go. I'll tell you, I liked what both coaches did there. They used it as a teaching moment, too. A little chippiness was starting to go on, but I saw Coach Hatcher talking to Porter. Coach Cardellaro, I think, called it just to get everybody to cool down just for a moment. So you got to like that on both sides.
Yeah, you're right. And like I said, that's something that we've seen with the Colonels. When you got the target on your back and the bullseye, sometimes teams don't really like it when you start to beat them pretty bad. Thornhill rebounds, sticks it back in. Malbeck missed the first shot. Juan was there for the putback and 2 points, 59-35.
But if that's the case, you can't fall into that trap.
Sure, yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. That's a tactic that unfortunately, well, it's been around for a long time. I mean, it's not new. Sometimes teams will try and get ugly to get into the other team's skin. And you can't let it affect you. Taylor driving. Shot won't go in. Rebounded by Juan Thornhill, middle of the lane. Juan has collected a lot of boards. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, no, nice pass. Keep going. I'll come in later.
That's Mateo Malbeck. Now back over to Juan. Good ball moving by the Colonels. Over to Nelson Dews. Left wing. Back iron. No good. Rebound comes down to Gunnar Cook and the Robert E. Lee men. Look at Nelson Dews getting back on defense. Steals it. Then behind the back pass to Juan Thornhill. Crowd applauding the effort.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Altavista still... You know, and I talked to Coach Cardellaro way back in the day about this when Kenny and the guys were around. You still got to play even when you're up 24, and you still want to play hard to where, you know, they're not just out there because Altavista needs 5 white jerseys.
That's right. That's right. And the thing you got to avoid, too, when you're the Colonels and you're so good, you can't turn it into Harlem Globetrotters where you're just trying to dunk show and the strange shots and all that kind of stuff. The alley-oops. Look out for Thornhill. Another jam.
If it's there, you're not going to pass it.
Hey, if it's the high percentage shot, then go for it. Thornhill, another dunk. This time coming in from the three-point line, cashing in on it. Didn't take off from there, but the drive started from there. Probably took off from that right-hand block. Juan is doing it all, and he's doing it to perfection. And breathing a little heavy down there, isn't he, Bob?
Montague, I think, is going to get the foul. And let me say something right now as Tavian Brown goes to the line. I know you and Oscar talked about this. But, Altavista is obviously a small town. You get a lot of athletes coming through, but this is a once-in-a-lifetime group that that the school has had right now. 2 football state championships, 2 basketball state championships. You're looking for a third. I mean, that's special.
Absolutely. It's a rare breed. It's a rare group of athletes that have all come together at the same time. It's rare to find an athlete like Juan Thornhill anytime. And I think as fans and even as broadcasters ourselves, hey, we got to remember, we got to keep it in perspective and remember that it's not always this gravy train that you're on. And you got to remember they're just young guys, too. Yep. They're just high school guys. You put a lot of pressure on them. They put a lot of pressure on themselves. But you got to remember, it's just high school sports. Keep it all in perspective. Keep it fun. Colonels have certainly done that for the fans tonight. They played hard, too. Nelson Dews with the basketball. Stumbled momentarily. Now looking down low. It's taken away. 2:40 left to play in the basketball game. Robert E. Lee basketball. They trail by a bunch, 61-36.
And, I think Robert E. Lee, even back in those days where they had talent, I talked to Jared Hatcher, and he told me a story where he said his father, when they went, back-to-back at VCU one year in the Siegel Center, he seemed like it seemed like we were just here. And
right.
We got to enjoy this one, because it might not come around every day.
That's right. You never know when the last one is going to be the last one. Free throw on the way for Tavian Brown. In and out. No good.
Dews charged with the foul.
Jordan Witcher checking in for his first action of the game for the Altavista Colonels. 2:36 left to play in the basketball game. 61-36. Colonels lead. We'll have another Reached app question for you later on related to the game. Stick around for the Subway post-game show for that. Second free throw on the way, no good. Basketball out of bounds. It's going to stay with Robert E. Lee.
Well, and it's like I've talked about, too, before, Kyle. You and I have coached some special groups, and really what gets me is that last day where I knew we were all going to be together. And that's kind of what Coach Hatcher told me as the three-pointers hidden by Caden Crawford. You really have to just appreciate the time you're with each other, too. Not the fact that you're winning.
Yeah, it's not all about the wins and losses. It's the relationships. It's the good times. It's the joking and the laughing, all that stuff. Robert E. Lee, turnover. Malbeck knocked the ball away momentarily, but the Lee men are going to get it back. Crawford has it again. Dishes in the corner to number 12. That's Emmanuel Johnson. Now that's stolen away. Mateo Malbeck is there to pick it off. 2-on-1 fast break. Malbeck driving, hit hard to the deck, and he'll go to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Shot never got out of his hands, really, as it was knocked away. 2:04 remaining in the basketball game. It's a 61-39 Colonel lead.
Good job by Mateo Malbeck to realize that Herleek Williams did not have good position and was still backpedaling. So just take it up. Even if you don't think you're going to make the shot, at least get to the line to where you have 2 shots at it. Missed the first.
Free throw, no good. Nelson Dews checking in the ball game for Donovan Montague. It's Poindexter, Witcher, Mateo Malbeck, Dews, and Mormon out there on the court for the Colonels. For the Lee men, you got number 32, Casey Taylor, number 5, Tavian Brown, number 22, Leon Johnson, 1, Caden Crawford, and number 14, Herleek Williams. Second free throw, good for Mateo Malbeck. 2 minutes to play in the Select Air fourth quarter.
And, while we've gushed about what Altavista's done right, I guarantee you Mike Cardellaro will find something they can work on for Heritage.
That's what the good coaches, that's what the good teams do. They're constantly improving, and they are their own worst critics. That's how you have to be. Crawford going to try another 3. Far corner. This one's long. Taylor is there. Taylor sticks it back up. No good. Fouled in the act of shooting. Casey Taylor, I'm sorry. And he's grabbed a lot of boards for Robert E. Lee. Certainly a front runner for the Chris Owen All-State Good Hands Award. But you got to stick around for the Subway post-game show for that. Like I said, we'll have another Reached app question. If you haven't downloaded our Reached app, go to your app store, REACHT. There's a free sub for joining. There's free stuff for answering questions. It's a lot of fun.
Chris Owen, who is more known for his football prowess at Jefferson Forest and Wake Forest. If I'm not mistaken, was he on that team at Forest that went to the Final 8? Or was he gone by then?
I believe he was gone by then. I think that might have been after his senior year. Free throw, no good, put back by Leon Johnson. But, yeah, Chris Owen was not just
Chris,
a football
player. I tried to make you sound better on that one.
He was a basketball player, too. A very stingy defender was Chris Owen. Basketball thrown out of bounds by Mateo Malbeck. Not on the same page as the intended recipient there. Minute and a half left to play in regulation, 62-41. Colonels up by 21. Crawford, pump fake, going to step in for the long 2. That's good. Caden Crawford showcasing the jump shot there. Nelson Dews with the basketball now. Going to bring it out to the middle of the court over to Mateo Malback. Malback driving, puts it up, shot, count the basket. Oh, no, they're going to call the other way, or they're going to call a blocking foul?
They called a blocking foul.
I hope they did. Yep, there it is.
I
You're
honestly
right.
thought it was going the other way.
There's the official word. Well, the official kind of started running the other way, which is sometimes an indicator of a charge, but they call it the blocking foul. Malback, nice shot. He's got a chance for the three-point play. It's a 64-43 Colonel lead. Make it 65-43 as Malback drops the free throw in. 1:10 left to play in the game.
If you're doing stats for Altavista this year, even trying to keep track of numbers, you just can't write Malback.
No kidding. It's tough. Crawford lost it. Taken away by Chancellor Mormon. Mormon going the other way. Oh, slip. Tried the jump stop. Going to get him for the travel. Maybe going a little too fast. I think he made the smart play to try and stop, but the feet just fell out from under him.
Yeah, you might need to start employing some floor wipers here for Altavista. There have been a couple slips tonight, one on each side.
Yeah, there have. A couple guys lost the footing. Second game in the evening, that probably has something to do with it. Nice runner off backboard by Tavian Brown. 45 seconds to play in the game.
I like the fact that Robert E. Lee hadn't quit.
No
and
quit
I'm not trying to say
Lindsay.
Altavista has, but I mean, Robert E. Lee still going to the basket, trying to get some points. It's almost like Jared Hatcher doesn't see a scoreboard up there.
No, I know what you mean. It's easier to quit when you're down by so much. Daquan Poindexter. Don't know if it was a shot attempt or a pass, but it ends up in Robert E. Lee's hands. Hurleek Williams, right-handed layup, will go in. Kind of an off-balance, awkward angle there. We're down to 20 seconds left to play in regulation. 65-47, Colonel's lead. Lead has been cut into a little bit, and that speaks to what you were talking about as far as the no-quit from Robert E. Lee.
Well, double digits this quarter, but double digits is also going to be where the deficit goes.
Down to 4 seconds. Malback's just going to run out the clock, not looking to shoot. There's the final horn. Colonels win. They move to 2-0, 65-47. Subway postgame show on the way when you come back to talk it all over. Altavista with the victory over Robert E. Lee on 105.5 KD Country.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
We're back at Bug Motor Company, 3 miles south of the airport in Lynchburg, and we're talking with James Duranzo, the manager of Bug Motors.
Thanks, David. This is James, and I wanted to tell you guys about an awesome program that we just started. It's our first-time buyer program. You're guaranteed as long as you can prove your income and that you can afford the payment, we can get you in a car as low as 10% down here at Bug Motors, and we are the Super Truck Center with over 40 trucks to choose from.
Don't wait too long. Come on down to Bug Motors and get a deal today.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway postgame show begins. The Altavista Colonels with the victory over Robert E. Lee, the Fighting Lee men from up there in Stanton. Exciting ball game here tonight. So glad you could join us once again. It's all part of the Jeff Cocke Memorial Invitational, the old Christmas tournament. And certainly hope you had a wonderful holiday season. Hopefully it's still going on for you. You know, I say keep the holidays rolling, Bob. You don't just have to stop right at Christmas. Play that Christmas music at least till the new year, and keep the tree up and all that other stuff. As Bob's totaling up some stats, let me tell you a little bit about this Subway postgame show. Of course, perfect for bowl season and parties, NFL playoffs coming up. Subway can cater those parties and bowl watching celebrations. Box lunches, sandwich platters, cookie trays. The options are endless. Call Robert at 369-2366. Let Subway handle your next event. Hey, speaking of Subway, we'll give you a free 6-inch sub just for signing up for our Reached app, R-E-A-C-H-T. Get it in your app store and then join the KD Country group. You'll get an email for your free sub. You get to answer the questions. Bob and I are going to tell you our players of the game later on, but we'll give you a chance to tell us your player of the game right now with the Reached app. That question should be up there any second. Who do you think had the best ball game for the Altavista Colonels? I think on that short list, Bob, are probably going to be the members of that Big Four like we talked about, Michi Malbach, Juan Thornhill, Demetrius Johnson, Darius Johnson. Bob will get you some stats here, maybe if you need that to help form your opinion, but maybe your opinion's more based on emotion. Who knows?
Yeah, if you're Oscar Briggs and brought your headset to the game, then you got to go with the eye test. But if you just had to go auditory, then I will provide you with some stats here in a moment, and I think you're going to have to just pick one. I don't think there's going to be an A and B, and B and C.
Even though we can do that.
Yeah, we can do that. It's the cheap way when we do it, but you know sometimes it's needed. But Altavista, nothing cheap about this one tonight. Outscored in the fourth quarter, but they had enough in the first three to where the fourth quarter didn't matter if they got outscored by 6.
Yeah, and they tried some different things there in the fourth quarter, different combinations, brought in some other players, as did Robert E. Lee. We'll come back. We'll talk about all of it, give you the recaps. Boy, it might take a little while to talk about all the dunks the Colonels threw down. Altavista, big winner over Robert E. Lee. Subway post-game show rolls on after this timeout on 105.5 KD Country.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling.
Is there a painting project on your to-do list? English's Home Center has added an additional line of paints. English's features Pratt & Lambert Lifetime Warranty Red Seal Exterior Paints. Choose from hundreds of stunning, beautiful designer colors. Pratt & Lambert interior or exterior paints. Value price to save you money. Pratt & Lambert paints. Never compromise.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family and see your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Subway post-game show continues here from Altavista High School. Colonels get to win 65-47 over Robert E. Lee. Hey, your chance to win with Subway happens right now, Mr. Alvis. All you got to do is, it's Christmas season, so let's do something holiday-wise. All you got to do is post the word holiday to the KD Country Facebook page. You can win yourself a foot-long meal deal courtesy of Subways in Altavista. The word we're looking for is holiday. We know you diehards are sticking around waiting here. Actually, unfortunately, you're not. Employees of Subway and KD Country, not eligible. But everybody else should post the word holiday to the KD Country Facebook page to win a foot-long meal deal. Bob, let's try our best to recap this one a little bit. Colonels started out strong. It was a 21-7 lead at one point. They really never looked back. You mentioned the fourth quarter went to Robert E. Lee, but just too much damage done in the first three quarters.
Second quarter was really the big one. It was 21-16 after one. Altavista wins that second quarter 20-4. And third quarter tightened up a little bit, 12-9 Altavista, but then that fourth quarter won by Robert E. Lee. But it was really that second quarter, and like I said, and I could go back and count, but you're going to have to limit the 6-0 runs to less than 6-0 to stay with Altavista for the most part.
No, you're right. You can't allow the Colonels to stretch things out and score a bunch of baskets unanswered. They've really had the momentum going, too. McClure hit a three that got the crowd into it. And then the dunks, like we said, I mean, 5 of them total, 4 of them at the hands of number 2, Juan Thornhill. He was coming down the middle of the lane. He was coming from the side. It was one-handed. It was two-handed. It was in traffic. It was by himself. Impressive stuff that Juan Thornhill did, and it's worth repeating again. We've talked about it. Sometimes that dunk can be worth more than 2 points. You get the crowd into it.
It can. You're right. But the thing about it, too, is a lot of times in high school basketball, you'll see where they have to get a breakaway and nobody's within 3 feet of them. Juan took one dunk where he was just on the three-point line and came around baseline and did it. So, I mean, it was a half-court dunk per se, if you want to look at it that way. It wasn't a fast break dunk. So you've got to be cognizant of 2, 5, 10, and a lot of other numbers. But 2, 5, and 10, Juan and the Twins are really going to be, I think, your dunkers.
Well, and choose your pick for player of the game as well. Like I said, it may come from those 4 guys, but hey, your chance to pick your player of the game happens with the Reached app. Bob Alvis, give us some point totals. Like I said, maybe somebody wants some facts to formulate their opinion rather than just picking on a whim like we do.
Let's be educated about it.
Sure.
Herleek Williams starts off Robert E. Lee. He led him with 8 points. 7 points apiece from Tavian Brown and Gunnar Cook. 6 points from Corey Darkus, as well as Leon Johnson. 4 points from Casey Taylor. And 5 points actually from Caden Crawford. All came in the fourth quarter. And 2 points from Zalik Porter. Altavista, 3 guys in doubles. Demetrius Johnson finishes with 21. Juan Thornhill with 16. Darius Johnson with 14. Michi Malbeck had 5.
The way you are as far as in the dressing room there, as the mentality goes, I don't know.
Here's what I'm going to say about that. Can't let the Twins go crazy tomorrow night. The Twins are going to be a lot for a lot of people to handle with just interior game because they're, really good inside.
They combined for, if I'm not mistaken, 35.
Yes, sir.
Demetrius 21, Darius 14. So I think you're right. I think you got a great point. I think first and foremost, you got to try and take away the inside against this Altavista Colonel team. But that's easier said than done.
Yeah, and one more thing before we get to players of the game. That year, back in the day when Kenny played, Troy, Scott Jester, Ryan Cook, those type guys, Altavista had a 6-man that was very strong back then. I think if Altavista could get the student 6-man back to the way it was, I mean, I don't know how many games it's going to help them win, but it's not going to hurt.
Yeah.
Especially when some of the big boys come in here. So I think if Altavista could get that 6-man back and rolling, I think that's even better.
Yeah, the Colonel crowd has always been very good and always been a nice benefit to the Altavista Colonels. Pep band certainly doesn't hurt either. You get that noise, you get the fans rocking and grooving with the pep band. It's a great atmosphere in here. Time for our player of the game picks. Brought to you, of course, by Chris Owen, your All-State agent in Lynchburg. Go online, search for Chris Owen today, give him a call, let him give you a quote. Basketball fans are always in good hands with Chris Owen. Bob, I'll keep with the theme. I'll go first for Robert E. Lee. I'm going to go with number 32, Casey Taylor, the 6'2 forward. Thought he was nice on the glass. He's one of those big guys who's not real tall, but he does a lot of work on the ground, boxes out well, puts himself in good position, and made some buckets too.
I like your pick.
But is there a but following that?
Not really.
I like your pick, but just thinking it over here.
I am. I'm going to go.
Play that Jeopardy theme. Will that help you?
No. I'll agree.
Okay.
I'll go Taylor. I think he's going to be a load for some people up in the Robert E. Lee area, and they're scheduled to go against. So yeah, I'll go. I'll second that.
All right. On the other side, I'll go first for the Colonels again. Boy, this is tougher here. I like what everybody did, and I like the fact that we're giving fans a chance to sound off and give their player of the game pick too. Obviously, I'm doing this to try and buy myself some more time to think about who I want to pick. I picked Juan Thornhill Monday. I'm picking Juan Thornhill again. 16 points, didn't lead them in scoring, but boy, the jams, the defense, the rebounding, it's the complete floor game. He's a leader out there emotionally as well. I got to go with Thornhill. No disrespect to anything anybody else did, but I just got to go with number 2, Juan Thornhill.
Demetrius Johnson, 21 points, great effort. I'm going to go with brother Darius, though, 14. A load to rebound, but I'll tell you couldn't go wrong if I just said Johnson tonight. Darius and Demetrius, and even on the other side, Leon played well, too. So, I mean, if I just said I'm going Johnson and Johnson, I'd be in a good boat tonight.
I'm with you. It was a good night. It's a fun night. First game.
Come back tomorrow. I enjoy it.
We're going to do it all again tomorrow. 2 great basketball games. Join us around 5:40 for the Subway pregame show. Our player of the game, as always, Eleanor Haney, sound engineer back at home base. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the fine folks like English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Highview Motors, GMC, from small to tall, Highview has it all. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you Cool in the summer, warm in the winter, comfortable in between. English Building Supply, your complete home center, and your Pratt & Lambert paint dealer. Feller Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving family since 1905. Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, your authorized train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Bug Motors, over 40 cars and trucks in stock, just minutes south of the airport on Route 29. Finch & Finch, excuse me, I already said Finch & Finch. I'm sorry, folks. The First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience, of course. Live internet broadcast at kdcountry.com or with the TuneIn app, brought to you by Chris Owen, your Allstate agent in Lynchburg. This is the Subway postgame show. Make sure you download the Reached app. Make sure you check out Subway. Online ordering available with Subways of Altavista. That'll do it for us. Colonel's a winner over Robert E. Lee. Brookville won the first game. Different matchups tomorrow. Tune in around 5:40. Heritage taking on R.E. Lee. Brookville taking on R.E. Lee. Heritage and Altavista after that. Till then, enjoy the real country music on 105.5 KD Country.